Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we are going live here on the Big Pop Theory Podcast, the YouTube channel. We are also on Twitter, or what they call X, but we're going to just keep saying Twitter. I want to thank these lovely gents here. Elimination Chamber went off hours ago, but we are going to review it now. I'm joined with the Pop Boys. I'm joined with one Jean-Baptiste King and Mark Wins. Elimination Chamber, they were in Perth, Australia. We're going to talk about it all. But real quick,
Spider Country, baby. Spider Country.
And we'll start in Spider Country. You would love that place. And one Baptiste. But Baptiste, why don't we start with you? Because I watched it with one Mark Wins. We watched it a few hours ago. But why don't we start with you, and then we'll start with King. What did you think of Elimination Chamber? Just quick rounds up before we break it down.
Not a bad show. Kind of a pretty good build-up for WrestleMania 40. I would definitely say I enjoyed watching it. A good couple of spots. It was a pretty decent card. This is just mainly further more storylines, and which I appreciate. And yeah, I enjoyed it. It's not that bad.
King, what did you think about this show? Hey, there's that handsome face right there. There's that handsome guy.
Yeah, the show was actually pretty good, actually. Even though it was a very predictable card, I think that the performers did a really good job telling the story, illustrating a great match, and overall, quick synopsis, it was a good match, good show.
I was with you, one Mark Wins, but still, I do want to ask you because I got to give you the floor, sir. It was great. We hung out. We had a great time, but what did you think about the show? You are, I see you still going by the Mark Wins name, but I thought you would go by the casual Mark.
I mean, I'm still the casual, as you can see down there, right? Where is it? Right there.
Oh, yeah, I see it. Okay.
Yeah. But, it was a cool little show. I did enjoy it. I wasn't bored except for maybe one section, and I guess we'll get to that. It was, like I said, it wasn't a match. All the matches were cool, but for the most part, it was a good little pay-per-view. It was fun to watch. I wasn't bored. It was cool. And I know I don't watch it often, but I kind of sort of can't wait for WrestleMania. So yeah,
I look forward to Mania. Mania is going to be exciting. I do agree that this show was predictable, but I thought the show was really, really good. Let's start off with the kickoff. We caught, both me and Mark Wins, we caught more of the half of this match. So I'm only talking about what I saw here. So you had one Candice LaRae and hometown gal Indie Hartwell going against the Kabuki Warriors, which is Oscar and Kairi Sane. Thank you. I thought this match was pretty good from what I saw. So I caught half of the match, and I thought that these girls did pretty well. I don't think it was in doubt that the Kabuki Warriors were going to win. I feel like they definitely put Indie Hartwell and Candice LaRae out there because Indie Hartwell is from Australia, and I thought that they looked pretty good. I one of the things that I do appreciate, because I feel like for the longest time, the women's tag team titles, they were there, but they were like a prop. I do appreciate that they're trying to make these titles feel important. I appreciate that they are trying their best to add a little prestige to this. And I thought the match was fine. So the Kabuki Warriors win with one Indie Hartwell. I'm sorry. With one Kairi Sane him and saying, on Candice LaRae, right. But hit the insane elbow. They pin Candice LaRae 1, 2, 3. The match was pretty good. I don't have anything to say about this match. It was a solid match. But let's start with you, King, and then we'll start with you, Jean-Baptiste, and then we'll hand you the floor. I don't know who that was in the background for you, King, but we'll say hello. But we'll say we'll hand you the floor first, King, Jean-Baptiste, and then Mark Wins. So what did you guys think about this kickoff match?
I mean, I think that the match was appropriately where it belonged on a pre-show. It didn't have like enough, I guess, I don't know, I would say flair, but it just wasn't enough storytelling. It wasn't enough, I don't know. There was something missing about the whole entire match. I think this was the match I think I was least interested in, where I was like, okay, I might have to go take a bathroom break. It felt like, but It has a few hit spots, but honestly, I'm gonna make this short and brief.
Sure.
Out of 10, I will give it a 4. I was not a fan of this match. Maybe I was missing something, but I didn't see it. Gene, what do you think?
I completely agree. It's clear that they only threw this match together because Indie Hartwell is a native of Australia, and they wanted to give the people an Australia native to see. There was definitely no build up for this match because in all hindsight, Candice LaRae and Indie Hartwell have really been on a back burner for months. Like you just see them in segments on Raw, showing up just to talk and basically count the lights. Good performance by Indie Hartwell. There was no doubt in my mind that the Kabuki Warriors were losing those titles at all. 4 out of 10, I definitely agree to that being the grading of that match. I completely agree with that.
Mark wins the casual one. The casual win.
I like Gene's take on how they were there to count lights. That's hilarious. It was. I have no dog in this fight. I barely saw the match, and it was the kickoff match. I don't know. I can't even accurately whatchamacall. I can't really give a. I just saw. All I saw was 1, 2, 3. Somebody got pinned. So it was the kickoff match. It was just that. So yeah, I have no opinion on the match other than maybe it was a solid kickoff. But obviously on a business perspective, you need that match that warms the crowd up. I guess that's what that was. But I don't know. Like I said, didn't watch it. Wasn't able to. I don't have a real opinion on it.
And that's fair.
Mr. Wins, I would equate like this. That kickoff match was like the national anthem before you go into the ballpark. That's what it was.
Wow.
You know what? I can't disagree with that. I really can't disagree because, like I said, Indie Hartwell pulled a solid performance.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't one of those top tier. Oh my God, she's amazing. Like normally, if I watch a match and I see somebody I don't know, and I see their performance, it's like, you know what? That's somebody to pay attention to. Indie Hartwell just wasn't it in this matchup. Like it was clear as day. Kabuki Warriors were winning. This was filler. This was grade A filler.
It was. I mean, like it was. And I'm not sure if they won like some kind of battle royal or something to be number one. I forget.
No battle royal.
Hold on.
Nothing.
Hold up. I just wanted to, wanted to get to have an opportunity to talk. I do sit here and go that there was no doubt, and I agree totally 100% with you guys that Kabuki was going to go. The Kabuki Warriors. Let me get that right. We're going to go over. It was no doubt in my mind, but I do appreciate that they did try to do something different. They could have had this match. They could have had the Kabuki Warriors not even involved. So one of the things I try to look at positives, right, in wrestling. I do like that they are trying with these women tag team titles. I do appreciate that they are trying because there was a period of time where, and I'll be the first to admit that I was someone who said, man, just get rid of these titles. These titles, they're not even trying to do anything with them. So I do appreciate that. And like I said, from the little that I saw, because I caught more of the halfway of this match. Let's open up the show. Elimination Chamber, once again, is in Perth in Australia.
Before we continue, you said something about the women's tag titles. And in all honesty, when you had Sasha Banks and Naomi as tag champs who are actually doing something great for those belts and great for the business, in the end, when they walked out, you couldn't really follow up with those two's performance and how they were trying to elevate the division. I mean, yeah, you had Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler, but Shayna Baszler, who is she? Like, you're someone who counts the lights way more than you should be. And mind you, I feel bad because she's a great talent, great in-ring performer. It's just she never really got elevated to main event status. And then you have Ronda Rousey, who was just returning, and it's like you're taking over.
Well, she wasn't just returning; she was already there. She wasn't just returning. Like returning would be the year previously. Yeah, previously she returned. So
and then afterward, you have who Doudrop and who had it? Who was her partner at the time? I can't even. Lady Karen, the Lady Karen of WWE. They had the titles, and it's like you can't really do much. The Kabuki Warriors having those belts, like you have two main event status ladies who can definitely elevate those belts to new heights. But the problem is the women's tag team division isn't nothing special. There's really no good female tag teams beside the Kabuki Warriors that I can think of off rip. You do have those two girls from NXT who didn't do such a bad job, but again,
But they were meant. They were definitely meant to be title warmers, and they are great. I honestly thought that putting the titles on them, I said that's a smart move to put. If you're trying to rebuild this division, I personally think so. As someone who watched NXT and seeing these gals out there, and I thought they were great, but I also understand that the NXT crowd and the main roster crowd are two different worlds, if you will. And I say all that to just simply say, like, I was excited for them to win those tag titles, but I knew it wasn't going to be long. And you put on the Kabuki Warriors, which is a great tag team. I mean, you go back, God, what was it, like 4 years ago, 5 years ago, maybe? These gals were great. And I sit here and go like, hey, that's good that they put it on there. And I do understand where you're coming from, where this women's division, tag team division, is not as strong. But I also sit here and say, I appreciate that they're trying a lot more than they were, a year ago? A year ago, you would have had me. I would have said, all right, yeah, you're right. This women's division, what are we talking about, right? But I also go and sit here and go, this division right now, and I'm not even trying to say it's perfect. I want to make it clear those are not my words, but I sit here and go, whoa, these guys are actually trying. Couldn't say that a year ago. But go ahead, Mark, once you wanted to say something, because I saw you do like this. Unless you're acknowledging your tribal chief. Are you acknowledging?
But what is the point of the women's tag team championship if there are no, what's the word I'm looking for?
Tag team?
If there are no genuine women tag teams. So like when I think of tag teams, right? Off the top of my head, I think of the Hardy Boys. I think of 3D.
Dudley Boys, I get you.
Yeah, and I also think of Edge and Christian, but I feel like they just came together and was a part of something great, as opposed to like they were genuinely a tag team. And then you can also
they were genuinely a tag team, because you got to remember they were all members of the Brood together.
The Brood.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yes.
So so like when I think of a tag team division, I think of two people. Even like I know the people like people are shitting on the Young Bucks now because they're not what they were. But I'm thinking of the Young Bucks. I'm thinking of Motor City Machine Guns. I'm thinking of like people that like they came up and they wanted to be a tag team. They came up as a tag team. I don't think, to my knowledge, there's not very many women that came up as a tag team. So like. My question is, why is there a women's tag team division?
I think I would probably assume, due to the fact that the women's roster is bloated as is, and only 2 belts, you're trying to give as much airtime to the female division. If you're trying to elevate the female division, and everybody's you kind of need something secondary for them to rely on, at least to try and elevate and build them up to main event status. Like I literally see the women's tag team division, with the exception of the Kabuki Warriors and maybe Naomi and Sasha Banks, as nothing more than an elevation status to get you to the main event. In all honesty, because the women's tag team division is nothing more than Strange Bedfellows. And in all honesty, the Strange Bedfellows tag team worked a few times and created some very successful tag teams. The Bar was definitely one of them. Strange Bedfellows, combine them together, they became a great tag team. Even the New Day, Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston and Big E, Strange Bedfellows, you threw those 3 together, they elevated to become one of the. I think I elevate the women's division by doing the same, by just seeing if they could put in 2 Strange Bedfellows together and create. Because in all honesty, Asuka and Kairi Sane, they weren't coming up as a tag team. They were both single stars. I think both of them won the NXT Women's Champion. I don't know if Kairi Sane ever won the Women's Champion. I may be wrong, but you throw those 2 together and they just seem to have clicked. They got lucky with that one. Same thing with Sasha Banks and Naomi. They just clicked. Another lucky shot. But then you got tag teams like Indie Hartwell and Candice LaRae, and they don't seem to be doing much. Same thing for Natalya and whoever she's partnered up with. which is sad. I don't even know who it is, but again, it just doesn't hit. So it's one of those things. I think they're just experimenting at this point with the women's tag team division to see if they can throw together more tag teams by just combining strange bedfellows and seeing how well they work together. And maybe they'll just fire off another lucky bullet.
But
Well, I would say yes and no to that. Sorry to cut you off, Mark.
no worries.
Wins. But just real quick to Jeffrey, like, yeah, there are some mix, like, you know, some tag teams that makeshift tag teams. I get that. But we do have the Sasha Banks and the Baileys where it was almost like manager and like leader or whatever you want to call that little thing that comes together or stuff like that, right? But I do think, to agree with your original point, was it's to give these female division more of TV time and show them a little bit more. Because you think about the history of WWE, what do we have? The Divas, the panties and whatever match, and the
bra and panty matches. Yeah.
And it's like they clearly were trying to go away from that. And what was the point for Stephanie McMahon to come out there 5-6 years ago talking about reshaping the women's evolution? You would have to think about, well, how else can we get women's TV time? And right now, I think where they're going in a direction is maybe a one-day elevating for the women to get their own TV show. Maybe it could be like Women's Evolution, maybe on a Wednesday night or a Thursday night, whatever you may be. And they're doing some of these things to test it out. I know they had a one pay-per-view with Evolution, and they went away from that. I thought that was a good pay-per-view. That was
a very fun pay-per-view, actually. No, I concur. And I honestly agree with a lot of stuff that one King is saying, because, like, I think those were fair questions which he was asking. Mark, when he was talking about what's the point of the women's tag team titles, and I can understand that. And there was a period of time where I would sit here and go, like, yeah, this women tag titles they wasn't doing a good job on it. And I'm not even trying to sit here and say, like, oh man, they're killing it right now. But I do appreciate you talk about women tag teams, and I'm not going to sit here and act like there's a whole lineup of them. And there's probably a little bit more than I know of, right? But you have the Unholy Alliance. That's an actual tag team. You have Kaden Katana and Katana Chance. You have that as a tag team. The Kabuki Warriors were a tag team. Now, did they start up as a tag team? No. But I can also say Bear Money didn't start off as a tag team. And guess what? They're one of the best tag teams in the world.
It was just, again, strange bedfellows.
And it worked. But the point is, it worked. I'm not even worried about it didn't work. Because there are tag teams where they put them together and didn't work. Cool, you got me. But there's tag teams where I go like, but it worked. Tell me it didn't work. Tell me why I'm telling lies. You can't.
Oh no, I said that earlier. You had tag teams that you put together and it worked. Like I mentioned the Bar. I mentioned the New Day. None of these guys came up as tag teams, but you put them together, it clicked, and that was just a lucky shot. Like the New Day, especially because again, they're one of the greatest tag teams of all time.
Trio.
One of the greatest.
Tag team champions, but trios. But yeah, but you're right though. You're right, sir. You're absolutely right. I
same thing for the Bar. The Bar definitely had a spot in history with it.
Go ahead.
But
Go ahead.
Jack, when it comes down to a tag team, I feel like it's hard to break away for that tag team moniker when you're trying to go solo, right? So when I think about successful solo people, I think of Edge, Jeff Hardy, and The Miz. Those three. Sorry, I got a text message. But Jeff Hardy, The Miz, and Edge. The other people really are afterthoughts. Like Matt Hardy has so many different gimmicks. Like forget about it. And Christian had to go to 7 different companies to find identity. And then you have John Morrison, who's at best mid-card, but was very, very talented, right?
Super talented. I expected him to actually reach the mountaintop, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I would have thought so too. I thought he was better than The Miz, but apparently, I guess I was missing the boat or something. I was on a different island. But there are certain things where when you come up as a tag team, I think it's also hard to break away into superstar status and solo career. And I think that's why a lot of people, if you had a chance to go into WWE and whatever these companies are these days, you're not gonna be like, "Hey, Jack, let me team up and be with you." You're let me do something solo. So I think that's part of the problem too.
They're missing out.
I mean, you can't really say that because for all the Miz's, the Matt Hardys, and the I forgot who the third one he named was. You do have
I think it's Christian.
No one wants to be a Matt Hardy. No one
wants to be a Matt Hardy. But then to counter that, you got the Shield, who all three are now one of the biggest stars of their respective companies.
But they always came up.
Are we comparing tag teams to stables now? and like what makes a stable versus a tag team, because you mentioned the New Day. It's 3 of them, so technically that's a stable, even though because they did do that funny thing where like the
Freebird
New
rule.
Day was the tag team champions, and they would pick which 2 would be in matches.
It's the Freebird rule. That rule's actually been around for a long time. But then again, the New Day is another one. 2 out of 3 broke out to become mega stars.
Wait. Justin asked, when have we seen that before that? I'm curious too. Because I didn't.
I'm sorry. What? I'm sorry. Say it again.
When do we see the 3-bird rule executed properly? I'm curious to know.
So the Freebird rule comes actually from the Freebirds from back in, I guess, what, the 80s or whatever. I'm just going back as far as what I know and from what I heard. And back in the day when they were champions or whatnot, they would exchange the belt. So this is when we had P.S. Michael Hayes, and I forget the other members and stuff like that. So forgive me for that, not knowing all of this. There's someone who's in the 80s who are going to be like, you don't know this? I'm like, I was born in 88, so no, I don't. But there was somebody, and it was P.S. Hayes and his dudes, and they would do, so like, let's put it this way. Me, you, and Mark, we're tag team champs, right? I don't feel like defending it. I don't feel like getting in the ring. So it'll be you and Mark. Some weeks it will be me and Mark. Some week it will be Mark and you. You get what I'm saying? That has been around for a long period of time. That's why it's called the Freebird rule. But a lot of people now would say the New Day rule because it's modern.
Yeah.
So I have back to my original point with the tag team champions.
Sure.
It was said that it's used to elevate women. Why not have singles mid-card championships for the women?
There's a rumor going on right now that there's a possibility that they will go that route. I think they went tag team because they had tag team titles back in the 80s, women tag team titles. And I think there were women who wanted that to be a thing. And I don't know what the feeling is now. I don't know. But back then, they wanted that to be a thing. That's why we had Sasha and Bayley. Or I say Sasha, but Mercedes Moné. And Bayley, they wanted that to be a thing, and they were one of the few women who wanted that to be a thing, and that's why it is. But I was against a women's singles title, but at this point now, I'm like, probably wouldn't be a bad idea. I've been a little bit more open to it, but if you're talking about something 5 years ago, they wanted the tag titles. That's the best I got on my end.
That's fair.
And I agree. I think the evolution of talent has receded when it was 5 years ago, right? So you think about it from a talent perspective, you now have the ability to have the extra belt. Versus 5 years ago, it's going to be like a Charlotte Flair belt. So she never loses the belt, right? So there's certain things that happens where you're like, well, if you create this belt, who's doing a challenge for this?
Yeah, that's true. I think they have enough talented females.
They do
to have at least 2 mid card, like one for Raw, one for SmackDown.
No. I think that would be too excessive. That'd be too excessive. And I didn't mean to cut you off. But matter of fact, finish your thought, and I'll finish mine. I apologize.
I don't believe it'd be too excessive because again, the women's roster is just continuing to grow, especially with these call ups coming from NXT. Like Tiffany Stratton. Like I've seen her in NXT, but looking at her on the main roster, it's like, okay, she can actually hold her own. Jade Cargill, even though they want to strap a rocket to her back and push her to the moon, it wouldn't be bad if she had a mid-card title. SmackDown is full of good female talent. And the same thing with Raw. You got a lot of these female talents, and all of them just chasing after one belt at some point. And tag team, it's meh. The division's still meh. But at some point, yeah, I think both shows.
I hear you, but I'm all for Jade Cargill to put a rocket on her back. She needs to be the woman's version of Goldberg. I need to see this. Even though I can't stand Goldberg, I want to see a woman's version of Goldberg. Like Asuka was the closest thing, I guess, with the undefeated streak, but she didn't have any mic presence or anything.
No, not here on my place of where I work. Are you going to mention one Bill Goldberg here? No one wants to be that. How dare you want? No, Bill Goldberg. No. This is the last time I'm doing any kind of show with you guys. You guys don't care?
No. But that's low key. It's almost a good idea. Because like it would have to be a modified Goldberg because as far like you could, I don't think you.
Yeah, it would have to be a good Goldberg.
Because I don't think you could do Goldberg today. People would buy it, but like it'd have to be spot on. And if that's what they're going, if they could make a spot on female Goldberg with Jade Cargill, that would be fire. I would be for it. But
I feel like they would drop the ball with that because they dropped the ball. They dropped the ball with Nia Jax when she returned at least.
What are you talking about? Really? Like, what are you I know.
And notice I said when she returned. Prior to her release, she was god awful. She was hurting people way too much, which technically so was Bill Goldberg. So yeah, they kind of did drop the ball with that. But I say that to say like you could probably create a female monster. Nia Jax is probably the closest thing right now.
Mm-hmm.
Or hell, even Bianca Belair, I feel like she could have been pushed to the moon and been a female Goldberg. She had the strength, she had the charisma, she had everything basically there to strap her to the moon. I feel like they dropped the ball with her. Even Asuka, when Asuka came to the main roster, to lose to Charlotte Flair was just like, here we go.
But there is something about Jade's build that the others don't have that like you can make her Goldberg like where like it's like I know Asuka had her undefeated streak. I know you can sit there and take Bianca Belair and you could have made her, a Goldberg. And then, theoretically, yeah, you could have made Nia Jax a Goldberg. But there's something about Jade's physique that's like, I don't want to say 1-to-1 with Goldberg, but it runs
damn near
very
close.
Parallel compared. Yeah, it runs very parallel compared to the others. So I could see that. Like I said, it have to be spot on. It had to be really, really good because I love Goldberg. I'm a Goldberg fan. I don't think a Goldberg type gimmick would work unless you do it perfectly. Like you'd really have to get the fans invested. And I don't know how you get the fans invested in a Goldberg. I don't know how you get the fans invested in a new Goldberg, especially for the women. I don't know how you do it. Other than you literally have her squash everything and she's in and she's out. And then maybe she shows up. I don't know. It's weird. Like you just have to have her like you may or may not have to do like a Roman Reigns type of thing where she pulls up, destroys somebody, and then get out, and then you don't see her for another 3-4 weeks.
It works because by evidence of Roman Reigns, it works. It works. Like if you tell the story right.
I agree.
Works. And like Michael Cole said, just beat her. Sorry. So that's it. It is what it is. But I'm interested to see what they do with her. I'm sorry, this wrestling topic has taken over this whole entire card. But
I legit want to let everyone get their thoughts in here. But absolutely, and thank you for that, King, for being the Ring General. You might have to change your name to Ring General. So that was the kickoff match, but let's kick off. We're talking about the women. Let's keep talking about the women. We had the Women's Elimination Chamber. It opened up. We had one Becky and Naomi opening up. The third entry was Tiffany Stratton. The fourth being Liv Morgan. Fifth being Raquel. And sixth being Bianca Belair. Also in this match, and this was the only match I had the opportunity to do this here, where they gave their ratings for the 2K24. We have, I didn't get Becky's and Naomi's, but for Tiffany, she has a 79 rating, Liv 85, Raquel 86, and Bianca. Oh, I didn't even get that. Wow, I didn't even write her. But I think she was pretty high, and it makes sense because Bianca has been on a roll.
Bianca's in the 90s. I know Becky's also in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Can't say the same for Raquel. Liv Morgan is like a high 80 something.
Raquel is 86, and
Liv Morgan is high 80.
Yeah, she's 85. Liv is 85. Liv is 85.
Yeah, Becky is definitely in the 90s. And so is Bianca Belair.
I just looked it up. Becky Lynch apparently is a 92 and Bianca Belair is a 95.
Good.
There you go.
And it makes sense. No, it makes sense. Okay, so they were in the 90s. Good job.
And then on a tangent, Rhea Ripley is 96.
And
I'm not surprised at that either.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm not surprised.
Not surprised at that. Not surprised.
Nah, I'm not surprised about that. Nah, I'm not surprised. I thought this chamber was good. I thought, and shout out to them because a lot of people were not a fan of this match going on. Not even a fan of this match. I'm sorry, was not a fan of this card being 4 or 5 matches. But one of the things I like about that 4 or 5 matches is you have a chance to let this match get some time. And I felt like these women got some time. We had, like I said, Becky and Naomi opening. Tiffany comes out, and I was more not even concerned, but I was looking at Tiffany. I watch NXT. I review NXT. Shout out to one unpublished review because I reviewed NXT on Tuesdays. And I got to see how the growth of one Tiffany Stratton. I'm familiar with her. It took me a while to really realize the talent, but you could see it's there. She was the one. She pinned Naomi, and she pissed me off when she pinned Naomi. I'm not gonna lie.
I was mad at that too. I
said, but that's fantastic because that's what you do as a heel. She's a heel, and everyone loves Naomi. Naomi, who got new music. It's similar to her TNA music, where instead of it's Trinity that plays out, it's Naomi, and she's doing the thing. We love Naomi right here in the House of Jack. We love Naomi. We love her. So seeing her get eliminated by Tiffany, I was annoyed. But I thought that's how you get heat. Tiffany also did a spot in this match where she hit the swanton off top of one of the pods.
Really good spot.
Yeah, Tiffany's been doing that a lot. She does that a lot when she does like the swanton off the turnbuckle when people are standing. It's a beautiful spot, honestly. You can see Tiffany is going to be someone who takes over this women's division. Maybe next year is a little too soon, but I can see that. Who you said?
Enter Charlotte.
Right?
She loves Charlotte. She loves Charlotte, but yeah, her and Charlotte is dominating her. I'm sorry. Charlotte is dominating her. There we go. Thank you, Mark. Liv, who's at 85, she both eliminate both Tiffany and Bianca Belair. But when she eliminated Tiffany, I guess it's Australia crowd like Tiffany because she got booed. And I don't believe Liv is a heel, at least not yet anyway. Someone was mentioning, well, she keeps talking about a revenge tour. That's a heel. I don't know if that makes you a heel. It just means I want my revenge.
No, listen, somebody breaks my arm storyline wise, I'm gonna want revenge too. Like what?
Right. But see, here's the thing. She never got her revenge on Rhea Ripley. She's going after all these people. But nonetheless, people love one Tiffany Stratton, so they booed her. Raquel, who's in 86, she got eliminated by Bianca. And I like this finish because she hit this double power bomb on both. I think it was Liv and Bianca. No, not Bianca. It wasn't Bianca because Bianca hit her finisher. But
it was Liv and Becky Lynch, I believe.
Thank you. No, you're absolutely right. Thank you, sir. But Bianca comes out of nowhere, hit the KOD, and it's always funny when she hits the KOD because it looks so slow motion. Because like when she does this, it looked like it slows down, and she says, "Oh right, I got something."
I thought I was bugging when I saw that. I'm like, "Yo, wait, did they do bullet time with this? Like, what is going on here?" Like, I literally looked. I'm just like, this got to be for from a 2K game. They did like a 2K camera view of boom, and I'm like, okay, I'll rock with this. I'm okay with this. This was a great way to eliminate somebody.
I thought it was great.
They're doing the John Morrison effect. That's what they did. They just said, Ziggy, who told you to turn the lights off?
There's a lot. For example, I excel in games.
No. Stop. Wow, I don't want to hear you selling games. Ziggy, enough. Now, Ziggy, lights.
Okay.
Asshole.
I think that was the best. I might have found a reel for this because that was fantastic. That was so good. Like, I love that you was arguing with your piece of like, what is this? Technology. Like, what do you? That's
Amazon Alexa. I just renamed him Ziggy, and he's just been a dick since.
You know what's great? You know what it is? He knows that you called Proto Man 0.
He never forgave me for that.
Absolutely, and he shouldn't. Good job, one Ziggy. Ziggy, turn off the lights.
Proto Man.
Thank God. Thank
I'm
God
sorry.
I have earpieces in my ear because he would have done it too.
I thought this match was good. I thought these women really opened up the show, and I did a really good job. I expected Becky to get the pin. I thought Becky and Bianca would have been the last two, but instead it was Liv who hit the she rolled up Bianca, and then Becky hit the, and I like moves like that because it's so urgent. It's like, like, oh, I have to hit this move so I can win. I enjoy finishes like that. I thought it would have been Bianca and Belair at the last two, but instead it was Bianca and Liv. So when we start with you, I want to start with you, Mark Wins. What did you think about this? Jean Baptiste and then King. Please take the floor. So, Mark Wins, what did you think about this match? Just open it.
It was a very good match. It was a very good match. I was a little upset that Naomi got eliminated first because I hadn't watched the Royal Rumble, so I had in my mind this was Naomi's return, and to see her go out like that, it was like, yuck. Mm-hmm. And then I wanted Bianca to win, and so me personally, I don't like the roll-ups. I can't stand them. If you're not like pulling on trunks or you got the rope to do something dirty to, add leverage to your roll-up or your schoolboy pin, I can't stand. I hate those type of wins because it's like, what did you actually just hit me with, and why did I lose to it? Like there's this conflict in my brain where it's like, I know this is scripted, so I'm trying to give the what is it called? The
benefit of the doubt.
Benefit of the doubt, but it's a better word. It's something about disbelief, the benefit of disbelief or whatever. But benefit of the doubt. I'm trying to give it the benefit of the doubt, and I'm supposed to believe that in like a real competition, this caught you off guard. I not.
Oh, you mean like suspense of belief?
Suspense of disbelief. Yes.
Okay.
Suspense of disbelief.
I'm sorry. I was trying to think.
Somehow, in my suspense of disbelief, I'm supposed to believe that caught you off guard. I hate it, and that's just me personally. Me personally, maybe sure. I'm totally all the way wrong. Maybe I'm trolling about it, but I can't stand schoolboy pins and roll-up pins that don't have a dirty angle to it, because in my mind, it's like, how did this catch you? And it I know you say it makes her look strong, but in my mind, I feel like personally it made her look weak because it was a very clean roll-up. It was boom, 1, 2.
It wasn't as clean as you think it's not as clean as you think, because even when she did, she was like almost like when she grabbed her, she had to grab her again and then roll up. But understood. Like I'm not sitting here trying to debate here and whatnot. I hear you, doggy.
It's not really a debate. I understand where you're coming from, and because it's scripted, it's kind of why you kind of can believe it. Because if somebody actually rolls you up like that, they don't really need much leverage. They actually have all the leverage in the world over you. It's not easy for you to get out of that because you're caving in your stomach. You can't really breathe too well while you're in that position. So roll-ups, like the roll-ups, you don't really need leverage. It's actually a pretty strong pin maneuver in itself. Because imagine your body's literally curled up forcefully. So you're trying to break your way out of it. It's not easy to do, especially because you're kind of impacting on your breathing a little bit there. So I'd have to disagree with you.
The next time I see you, I'm going to give you a roll-up, and let me see how long it takes you to get out of that roll-up. I guarantee you,
my fat ass will not get out of that, because I'll tell you why. Especially with this big ass fat gut, if it rolls in, I'm not breathing properly. Okay,
but here's my thing. Here's my thing. Right, we've seen millions and millions
and millions. I'm sorry
of roll-ups throughout the history of wrestling, and 99% of them don't work. I just don't get it. Why?
So let me ask you this: when you've seen these millions of roll-ups,
hold on, let King get talk.
So these roll-ups work, and only a certain type of match. It works in Survivor Series, elimination matches, and elimination chambers, where we're trying to stick to the match real quick. So these are the only times these roll-up pins work. And it's only in these type of matches. So once I saw that, I said she's out of here, because it was so clumsy, it was so fumbled, it was so trash.
So you saw that. You saw that part where she had to when she grabbed her. You saw that she had to grab her like twice just to roll her up.
It was clumsy. So
It
what
was.
happened
It wasn't as
referee
clean as
the
people
referee
think it
had the
was.
mic and said, "Let's wrap this shit up real quick, please. Let's wrap this up." And he told them to wrap it up. And you saw there was 2 eliminations in 30 seconds.
Not even 30 seconds. It was literally
I'd say
up,
15 at best.
finisher, pin. It was 1, 2, 3, finisher, 1, 2, 3. So it was not 30. It was under
20 seconds, but I understand where King is coming from though. Like,
yeah, right.
I totally get, but I understand that. No, I totally get where he's coming from.
They only work in the Elimination Chamber of Survivor Series. That makes sense.
And also too, he was being kind, but also too when you're trying to wrap up Monday Night Raw.
yeah.
He was being polite, but yeah.
It's like, guys, we got 2 minutes. Finish this.
Yeah, we gotta go home. Roll them up. But yeah, and look, I mean, I thought it looked good because I was sitting here say this. I think Bianca has been on fire, honestly, for the last, I want to say 2 years, right? And she didn't get pinned cleanly. Like, it wasn't, hey, she got a finisher, she got pinned. It was someone snuck up. Like, it was a Chance roll-up. Chance, you guys play Mario Party, right? You remember Chance? And
Ziggy.
I love Ziggy. Ziggy
What
is
the hell?
Ziggy is
What's your
great.
problem?
Ziggy. Honestly, we only been talking about one match. I want to talk about the other match. Bianca,
what the fuck is your problem?
Okay, we're gonna mute him real quick because he's struggling. My man is drowning over there. We're gonna mute him. He is drowning in darkness. So we're gonna move on to the next thing real quick. We had Judgment Day going against Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. I'm a fan of Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. Judgment Day, which features one Finn Balor. Okay. Oh, speaking of Judgment Day, because my man Gene Bet says, I'm sorry. You mute? Okay, you can hear me, right, sir?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay, I want to be sure. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to mute you again. Because speaking of Judgment Day, because my man, he's the sixth member of the Judgment Day here, Gene Baptiste. Because the fifth one is really our truth. Yeah, with the color team, it's really our truth. So let me ask you, Gene Baptiste, being a part of Judgment Day, how often do you eat the pin?
If I was a member of the Judgment Day, not as much as JD McDonough would eat the pins. I'd probably be second in line after him, but not as much as JD McDonough. that man counts a lot of lights.
I gotta say this. I knew this match would be good. You have one Finn Balor, Damian Priest, senior Money in the Bank going against Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. I don't know how familiar you guys are with one. Well, Pete Dunne, right? Because Butch on the main roster, but Tyler Bate.
I hate it. I knew him as Pete Dunne when he was in NXT. I actually enjoyed the Pete Dunne character. I'm glad they gave it back to him.
Oh yeah, what was your favorite Pete Dunne match? Because I love Pete Dunne, but what was your favorite match of his?
I don't really know too many of his opponents. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, this was like way back when I first started picking up NXT.
Okay.
But I do remember Pete Dunne. Like, I remember watching a lot of Pete Dunne matches because just like he did at the Chamber, he was flying all over the goddamn place, and I'm just like, oh wow, this dude is cool. But then when he came to the main roster as Butch, like, I see where they were going, but I don't know. I guess the gimmick didn't work for me.
No, the gimmick didn't, because I mean, listen, that was an old regime, and people realized that. I mean, even when he was Butch, he was slightly still Pete Dunne. It was just the name, and it's great that he's going to be Pete Dunne. A few weeks back, when they were on SmackDown, they were at a pub, and Tyler Bate was like, "Yeah, you should go back to it. Like, you got to figure out who you are. You got to figure out your name or something like that." And he figured out, like, I'm Pete freaking Dunne. And these guys as a team, they've been great. I forget the actual name that they call themselves now, or some other name, but I know that's British Strong Style. And this match was really good. I mean, I expected Judgment Day to retain. I felt like they put this match together as a way of getting a bunch of talented people on here. For the longest time, I felt for myself that Judgment Day would drop the title to DIY. We were talking about the women tag titles for a long period of time, and I thought DIY would be the best tag team to put it on if you're trying to restart this tag team division. I didn't expect Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate, and everyone's entitled to their opinions, but Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate, this was fun. This was fun. Even the ending, I thought the ending was fun, where they tried to like do a move on Damian Priest, but he hit the South of Heaven choke slam. Finn Balor gets the tag, hit the coup de grace, pins one Pete Dunne. I believe it was Pete. I'm not sure. But he pins him with the coup de grace, 1, 2, 3.
No, I think he pinned Tyler Bates. I think
it might have been. You might be right, sir.
I think it was Bates who ate the pin.
Okay. But I thought this match was great. I thought this match was fun. I enjoyed this match, and they once again gave him some time. I might have even look up the exact amount of time. So why don't we start with you? Does King become a Titan? Look at him. He's so tall. So gigantic. King, do you want to Oh, well, he's talking. No, it's fine. Jean Baptiste, why don't you start? What did you think about this match? And we'll start with Mark Wentz.
Great match. I remember when Pete Dunne and Tyler Bates won the whole tournament. I wasn't really a fan at all. I thought DIY was going to be the ones to go there, but for the most part, it was a great bout. I would definitely give that match a solid 8 out of 10. Pete Dunne, his performance was amazing. And of course, credit to Finn Balor and Damian Priest. They're really good as tag champs. Do I want to see them drop it? Yes. Do I feel it should be DIY? No. As DIY is cool. Don't get me wrong, but watching the tag team division as of lately, I'm kind of a bigger fan of the Creed brothers. I feel like they're more talented as a tag team than DIY. And not to take anything from DIY because they're really good and they're fun to watch. But I'm a bigger fan of the Creed brothers.
Okay. Understand. We've had conversations about this off air, but Kane, do you have any thoughts about this tag team match?
He's on his way to the arena right now.
Yeah, I know, right?
Wait, you said King, right?
Yeah.
Listen, the tag team match is really, really good. I'm a big fan of Pete Dunne, actually. I'm not a fan of Butch, so listen, I think that it has some great qualities in this match. I'm really sick of New Day, honestly. So, Jeffrey, me and Jean Baptiste over here are in agreement. I'll give this a strong 8 of a match. I think it was, it was appropriate. I love the heat that, you guys call this guy the best Mexican wrestler of all time. What is
no, you're talking about one Juventud Guerrera. He was not there, Kane. I know, but you're trying to raise my blood pressure, and you're doing a fantastic job on that. What do you mean, Dominic Mysterio? Because Juventud Guerrera was not there. Rude.
Well, yeah. Well, listen, I said I'm calling Don Julio. Dominic Mysterio. Dominic Mysterio.
Dominic, baby. Dominic.
The heat that he gets is great. I'm actually loving this.
No, he does. No, he does.
It was a good match. Judgment Day is fake over. I'm a fan.
You know what's funny? Real quick, I just want to tag on what he was saying because I think he was saying, beside him being wrong about the greatest Mexican superstar of all time, which is one Juventud Guerrera. Give me a minute. Okay, there we go. That's much better. I had to mute that because I don't like trash flowing through my. Oh, right, he has
Rey Mysterio.
Okay, there we go. This makes me. Oh, it didn't even work. Damn. What was I gonna say? Dominic Mysterio got so much good heat. I forgot I gave this guy the code and password for his. So shout out to him, and I will be restarting this so he can be a guest there again. But Dominic Mysterio actually got really good heat because so much where when me and Mark were watching and it was blacked out, I was like, yeah, they blacked it out because a fan, I guess, stuck the middle finger up or flipped him the bird. Because I saw it on Twitter. I did everything I could to avoid any kind of spoilers because I wanted to go into this surprise and stuff like that. But someone in the crowd, I guess, said hey, F you, Dominic Mysterio or Dom and Tom. So he does get good heat. He has fantastic heat. Shout out for him for getting such great heat. So I feel like, did I pass the floor to you, Jean Baptiste?
Yeah, you did. It's Mark Winter.
Okay, go ahead, Mark.
It was a really good match. I had no idea who this Pete Dunne and what was the other guy?
Tyler Bate.
I have very little idea who they are.
Sure.
and I have no idea who this do-it-yourself team is that you guys say they should
DIY.
Or,
Yeah. Matter of fact, I'll help you out real quick. So you remember when we went to you and King, we went to the NXT show, and remember when it was Johnny Gargano and there was a guy who came out and there was no music, but he just had booze?
Tommaso Ciampa.
Yeah, Tommaso Ciampa. No music, guy. No music.
He was
no music. Stop.
But you remember that they were a team once upon a time.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, that's who they are. But they were feuding in NXT. That's where you and King went to NXT.
Gotcha. It was a good match. But I do want to point out that the only reason that Finn Balor didn't get dominated is because he had 3 people on his team versus the 2. So I don't know. They theoretically possibly could have lost because I personally think that this match went way more back and forth than I thought it was supposed to. Like,
okay,
just looking at the match and like, who are these guys? Now, granted, Tyrese and Peter, they might be better wrestlers.
Who the hell are these Tyrese and Peter?
I like that. Tyrese and Peter. You know what? That's a new team right now. That's Tyrese and Peter.
No, it's Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne.
Tyrese and Peter is perfect.
No, I agree. And it's a Spike Lee joint. Absolutely.
Well, yeah, Tyler and Pete, like they definitely put on a better match than I initially expected them to. So I was like, oh, they're here to put on the show. It was really good. It was. At that point, I do want to say it was the match of the night. I don't know if it was. I don't know if you would call it the match of the night, but
it all depends on what you want, man. I mean, like it's your decision. Yeah.
As you're watching the show, that was a really good match. That was definitely the best match of the night. But I do want to emphasize that if Judgment Day didn't have Dominic Mysterio out there to help them out when he helped them out, that Finn Balor probably would have ate the pin and got dominated. So yeah, I just want to emphasize that.
No, absolutely. I think
there's a woman named Cap who would probably disagree with that. Shout out to Cap.
You already got the job. Like you don't have to. Like you're already here. Like what are you doing? Like
what you mean? Yo, I love Cap. Cap is cool peoples. Shout out to Cap.
Anyway, moving forward. I totally agree with you. When Mark wins. Yeah, my favorite wrestler is Bret Hart. So yeah. Shout out to one.
I'm gonna remix his name to the unimpressed one.
Don't do that. You leave Bret Hart alone. Bret Hart is fantastic. I met him last year, and you know what? He was a very nice man. So I'm sorry that you guys don't know what. I'm sorry that you guys.
Bill Goldberg.
You know what's so funny about that? This man thought he was cooking, but instead he had created a gas fire in the kitchen. And now a lot of people are looking for shelter because you thought you cooked. Get out of the kitchen, one Baptiste. Imagine thinking, oh, look, I can cook. And meanwhile, this man couldn't really cook. And that's the funny thing.
That's the devil. This is why.
Goodbye. So let's keep moving on forward. Get out of my place of work. Let's see. Can you bring yourself back in? Bring yourself back in. Oh, you don't have that much control, do you? Let me bring him back in. I
never really learned how to use the controls. I never really played with it. I just logged in, looked, and said, "Oh wow, look, I have power," and then just said, "Okay."
Shout out to one Gene Patton. Shout out to you, gentlemen, to talk some Elimination Chamber. I want to thank you, gentlemen, for joining, and I'm glad that you guys can see us live on what we are like when we link up, because it is a legitimate problem, as you guys can tell. Because my man over here thought he was cooking, and you just burnt the waffles, and I sat here.
That's the devil. This is why they're gonna turn off the water. Don't worry, you don't drink enough water.
We're talking about this water. No, this is not water because it's not clear.
That's the devil.
I ain't listen to Nick Cannon CD. Let's talk about it. We talked about Judgment Day, Grayson Waller Effect, but I do want to sit here and say real quick, I want to give a shout out to one Austin Theory, and I was talking about this with one Mark Wins. Austin Theory deserves a lot of credit here. Before this show started, I guess this was like the day before, someone told Austin Theory, "Oh, that thing you do, it's fake." I loved what Austin Theory did when he got into that guy's face and he said, "It's fake? Do what I do. You couldn't do that. You couldn't do any of the things that I do." And he said, "I should smack the shit out of you." And he should. Well, I'm glad that he didn't. Let me go back a little bit. I'm a little bit too overpassionate here. I like that he got in here because in 2024, and I was talking about this with one Mark Wins, everyone knows that it's scripted. Fake? It's not fake. It's not fake at all. I'm not trying to sit here and stand on a, what is a milk box or something like that. That's the phrase or whatever. But I sit here and say, what these guys and girls do out there is incredible. The body is not supposed to be doing this, and they do it. And then a lot of times for a lot of these guys and girls, they do it for so long that they're hurt. They have to retire. They have to change their way of life, meaning like walking and stuff like that. So when I hear fake, I get annoyed with that. So I was with one Austin Theory, and
Yeah, because
Australia's a bunch of bums. Australia reporters are a bunch of bums because
it's not even. But no, you say Australia, but it's not even just that. No, there's a lot of people in media who are. It's not even just Australia. It's just in general. There's people who think they know more. Look, I've been a wrestling fan for 20 plus years, and there are people who are, and even family who tried to tell me about wrestling, and I'm like, yo, bro, you have no idea about this. You have no idea that there are people who had to literally stop doing this because if they took another bump, they would be paralyzed. Stop.
I mean, I say Australia in general because this is not the first incident when it came to them. As a matter of fact, a couple of months ago, Grayson Waller did the same exact thing because there was a reporter from Australia. It was Grayson Waller on LA Knight. They were doing an interview in Australia, and they told Grayson Waller the same exact thing: wrestling is fake. Grayson Waller got in that dude's face, and LA Knight almost smacked it, right out of his mouth.
No,
And,
LA Knight was chill. LA Knight didn't do anything. It was more Grayson Waller than LA Knight. LA Knight was literally just sitting there, but Grayson was about that. So no, that's not.
It's the quiet people you look out for. The quiet ones are the ones that'll really slap the taste out your mouth because you don't see that coming. Period. Look at Big Broccoli. He's quiet. Would you want to tell him wrestling's fake to his face?
Oh no.
Yeah, neither would I.
But you say all that, but this even go back into the 80s. You're talking about today. I could go back.
Oh no, we can go back to the 80s because I forgot who it was that smacked the crap out of a reporter saying, "Yeah, did that feel real? Was that fake? I forgot who did it, and he got fired for it too. It'll come back to me. I remember seeing it on an episode of I think
Dark Side of the Rings. Dark Side. You saw it on Dark Side. I saw it on YouTube. But there was also even something even a little bit further. I can go back. Well, not even further. I apologize. Bad choice of words. But in the 90s, you had one, The Undertaker and Vader. And I forgot what this guy said something. And I forget where they were at. It was another country. And Vader was... I mean, it's not even funny, but Vader was in jail for like a few days because he laid hands on people. Point is, don't say that stuff to wrestlers who are out there busting their ass and sitting here. Once again, a lot of guys have either been, I don't want to say died, but paralyzed. A lot of people have been paralyzed and been
paralyzed. They've been hurt, all of that. And
thank you.
Oh no, definitely death. Definitely death. We can acknowledge the death. Owen Hart.
There's this one thing that people don't recognize, and I think sometimes like even like the fans don't recognize is that like with real sports, right? And I'm using that loosely because motherfucking refs be bugging, but that's a whole other can of worms that I'm not entertaining right now. But with real sports, basketball, football, soccer, and all of that, you know, they have even real combat sports like UFC and boxing, they have time to rest in between games, in between matches, and then like particularly with so like when you compare combat sports, there's many months in between fights. Like they take the fight, they fight for that one night or that one day, depending on their level of competition. They fight for that one day, that one night, and then it's multiple months before they get to that next fight. With basketball, football, soccer, hockey, they play however many amount of games, and then they have like 2 to 3 months off. Like, and it's guaranteed 2 to 3 months off. Like, depending on how far you go in the playoffs and all of that, they have that time off, and they have time to recover. They have time to train. They have time to play if they decide they want to play the game because they love obviously they love the sport, so they're going to play that sport. They have time to play it, but they're not playing it at that higher intensity. Wrestling is 7 days a week, 365 days in some cases, because they're not just doing the live shows that you see on television. They're doing the house shows. So they're doing the show that you see on television. They're traveling to another city, doing a house show, traveling to another city, doing a house show, traveling to another city, doing the televised show, and they're doing that all the way around the clock, all the way around that year. They don't have that 2-month, 3-month break unless something actually happens, or maybe they are actually written out of TV for whatever reason.
Or they request some time off, or if they're hurt. No, you're right. No, right. Absolutely. I think I'm nailing it.
Yeah, so it's like to sit there and call it fake is
blows my mind.
And I was telling you earlier, some people they say it's fake because they just don't know that they say it's fake because that's the best word that they have. And if you sit there and you can educate some people, because there's some people that's like, if you sit there and educate, like, yo, it's not fake, it's scripted, it's choreographed, but we still really get hurt. They'll sit there and understand that. But then there are some people that's like, nope, this is fake. And it's like not even realizing that wrestling is more real than that movie you watched that where motherfuckers got stomach double. It's more real than that TV show that you watch where they have multiple takes to get the thing that they need to get right. Whereas here in wrestling, it's one take and it's live all the time, every time. They don't get to oh man, that was a botch. Cut. Let's redo that. They don't get to do that.
No, you're right.
And they don't have wires and braces to help them out with the flips that they're doing either. It's so yeah. But some people, like I said, some people they just don't know that fake is a borderline derogatory word for it, and they just don't know that scripted is a better word, choreographed is a better word. And you can explain it to them and it'll make sense, because I've definitely dealt that. I've definitely had to explain that to people, and they're like, you know what, that makes sense with zero debate. But then you have some people that they want to debate that, and it's like, why are you debating that? Because then it's like, all right, bet you think it's fake. Get into a wrestling ring with me and let me show you how this works.
Hello. I like everything that you said there. I think because my biggest pet peeve was always when they say fake, and I'm like, fake and scripted are not the same. So when I hear fake, I'm immediately like, and I've had family who I've talked to, and I had to say, I remember one time having an actual conversation. I said, yeah, I don't want to talk about this anymore because you're not getting it. You're not getting it. So I've actually stopped. But we had the Grayson Waller effect. Grayson Waller was out there. He had Austin Theory, who I will praise big time because I loved what he did to that reporter. And we had Cody Rhodes and Seth freaking Rollins. Seth freaking Rollins actually had some mic time here because 2 weeks ago, I want to say it was 2 weeks ago, right? Where he was out there and, he's out there on stage with Roman Reigns and Rock and Cody. And it just seemed like he was such an afterthought. But this time, he did not look like an afterthought. He actually had some mic time. He spoke.
Wait. The best part of Seth Rollins was he acknowledged it. He did the one. He acknowledged it.
I feel like you might have a better, because I actually didn't take notes on it. I mean, the only thing I really took about this this segment here was that you have Seth and Cody. I feel like they're just trying to make it look like they're definitely a unit and a team. I still sit and say, for one, Cody Rhodes, watch your back, because I didn't forget about the night after Hell in a Cell when Seth Rollins hit Cody Rhodes with a sledgehammer after losing the night previously. And I love that so much. You know why I love that? Because that's me when I lose a Mario Kart. So I love that. Good for Seth Rollins. But there's also this part here where everyone's analyzing about Seth Rollins and Cody beating up Austin Theory. But does this mean that Grayson Waller? Let me ask you this, Jean Baptiste. We talk a little bit about wrestling. You know, we chat, we talk. We talk about, and then you acknowledge me as your great Grand Slam Pooba. Now I was waiting for you to throw up the ones. You gotta throw up the ones. Jean Baptiste,
tribal chief thing. You need something different. Like you need to be.
You know what?
Like you're the Grand Poobah of wrestling. Grand Slam Poobah of wrestling. So throwing the ones up, that's for the tribal chief. Now we need to throw something different for you. You got to have your own thing. You're creative. Come on now.
God damn it! I love this. This is why this is the Solus Kikoya to my Roman Reigns. Good job. King, how do you feel about being my Paul Heyman?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question? How do I feel bored about Paul Heyman? Don't laugh at me. All right, I'm back. All right, sorry. Attention.
How do you feel about being my Paul Heyman?
You're Paul Heyman. Oh, listen, it was meant to be. Ladies and gentlemen, let me stop. But we got this.
No. Continue. I love that.
Listen, I'm not prepared for this. Listen, give me a few moments, and I got you.
All right. No, this is great. So I guess that means Mark is my who would he be? If you're my solo, does that make him Jimmy?
No, Jimmy's a joke. So
yeah, that's disrespectful.
Say, I was thinking about that because I was like, wait a minute, Jimmy who? Because I feel like Jimmy got fucking shit on, and I don't like that. Like, I don't know who I would be, but I feel like Jimmy got shit on, and I don't like that shit.
Ziggy, like,
because I don't like. Nah, Jimmy.
No, you wasn't feeling that. Okay, we'll figure it out. But I love this. Because
I understand, like, you know, there's limited spots, and I do understand, you know, why Gene got, you know, Solo, and why King got Paul Heyman, but like, and I know Jimmy is left, but like Jimmy got shit on several times. Like I don't.
One too many times, bro.
Yeah,
since the Royal Rumble, he's just been getting shit on.
No, even before that, I'm saying even before. I mean, like he's kind of.
Yeah, I don't like. I understand.
We'll figure it out.
I understand the loyalty concept. I get that, but like,
I can't get. What do you mean?
Huh?
What loyalty?
He did come back.
Bro, that bro done turned way more than Big Show's freak.
Wait a minute.
No.
Am I confusing Jimmy with Jay, or did they both get shit on? I'm confused. Right
No. Jimmy. No, he means Jimmy, but he did not turn more than Big Show. Calm down. Please calm down. Now we just saying stuff.
He gets shitted on, kicks Roman in the face, and it's like, oh, amazing. Then comes back to kick your brother after. No, joke. Complete joke.
We'll figure it out for you, Mark Wins, because you get why Jean Baptiste would be solo. Yeah, and I was surprised to hear King be like, you know, yeah, I'll do that. Like, I'm surprised. I expect him to be like, but what did you guys think about this Grayson Waller effect? I'll start with you, Jean Baptiste. What did you think about this segment, sir?
Wait, can we start? Wait. Can we start with me?
Yeah, sure. I mean, Jean Baptiste, are you cool with that?
Yeah. Give it to the man.
All right, cool. Because I ain't gonna be long. Didn't care. Straight like that. Didn't care. And here's the thing. Don't know if it was a good segment or a bad segment or whatever. Just didn't care. Literally tuned out. I didn't know who it was. I just didn't care. So that's why I want to get my point over with, because I didn't care. I feel like everybody else will have better input than I would. So it's just like, get my lack of input out the way so that everybody else can have better input than me. That's all. I didn't care. Other than, you know, Austin Theory, trying to be The Rock, and then he got smoked for it. That was funny. But other than that, didn't care. So that's why I just wanted to get that out the way. My bad.
No, you're good. You're
no, there's nothing wrong with that. It was filler. It was filler. It didn't really further the storyline. It didn't really set up anything, and it just puts us in the same mystery that we were when the pre-conference show happened. It's like, are we getting a tag team match night one of WrestleMania? Is Cody taking on Rock night one? Are they doing a double call? Like, we're just asking the same questions. Nothing was really furthered. It would have been better if Roman showed up, but we knew that wasn't happening. It would have been cool if Rock showed up, but again, we knew that wasn't happening. It was just a complete waste of time. It's kind of like they were just like, hey, Nia and Ripley aren't ready yet, so go out there and do something funny for a little bit and keep it going.
That part. King, did you have any thoughts about this this segment here with I'm sorry, what was this? The Grayson Waller Effect?
I said my little 2 cents earlier with the Seth Rollins acknowledging him, but I think it was good for them to just get some kind of time on the event. And I think they're trying to protect them by not getting no injuries, any problems. So this was a nice little segment to be like, hey, throw a bone to our what's the place called? Australia.
Grace.
Hear these people. Let's hear the music so you can marinate in the song. Let's get the effect and keep it moving. So
what's the effect though?
What do you mean? Hold on, I'm just curious.
I think the effect is what King is saying is the effect is we're in Australia once every I don't know how many times they go to Australia. But
this was the first time in years. In years,
right.
I don't know exactly, but I'm gonna say in years. Okay.
Right. So the effect is boom, we're in Australia. We don't want our WrestleMania contenders to get injured, but here's Cody and here's Seth.
Okay. I
Every
get that.
time I see the Grayson Waller Effect, I just want to know what it has no effect on me. Period. So it's like,
I guess,
what's the point?
I think it was supposed to be a segment like how we had the rated R. What was it called? The cutting edge or something like that. A Piper's Pit.
I guess, but it like I said, it furthered no storyline. No, not really any questions about WrestleMania were answered. No Roman, no bloodline attack. What's the point?
But
that was literally a waste.
But I also think to have
me and Jack was having this conversation before.
Yes.
The Grand Pua. Right. So remember back in the day we used to watch wrestling? And there was a segment where we watched people come out the limo. We watched people get dressed. We watched people walk to nowhere. And this is all that was. It was like put lipstick on a pig to dress it up a little bit.
No, he's not lying.
Go crazy.
No, he's not lying, bro. Me and bro was literally talking not that long ago, and we were like, we literally saw people open the door, and then they would just walk, and then like that was literally the whole show. Or like they opened the locker room, and like dudes were coming out, and here, the old SmackDown thing. And you got mad hype, and they did absolutely nothing. Bro, he's lying.
We were literally to nowhere.
It's
and
true.
we were looking off fingers. We were eating it up like it was filet mignon. We were like, ooh, The Rock.
No, bro ain't lying. No, he ain't lying.
The fans were crazy every time they saw somebody get out a limo or something. I'm like, what are we looking at? But we got excited. The heart started racing.
Yo, hold on, but bro, hold on, wait, bro. But bro. Do you remember like when they did do the thing with the limo? They always started with the feet, and then they zoomed up like, oh, here's the guy.
That camera person was working extra overtime for that. He was on his knees getting into that thing.
Oh no!
So and it was but it got even worse. Now this is real. When it came to the video games, and we had that cutscene wasting precious seconds because we want to see somebody get out the limo.
Oh my god, dude, it's not lying because tell you what, I remember playing SmackDown 2, and there'd be a cutscene. They'd be like, The Rock has just entered the arena. Okay. What's that have to do with anything? They'll be like,
And how fast? And how fast did you press X? How fast? You can press X fast enough.
Bro, hold on, wait, bro is spinning right now, and now he's making me even mad because I pressed X, and guess what? Did not care because they never canceled it. They were like, "Oh, this happened," and I know this because to unlock the TLC match or table match, I had to watch the cutscene of the Dudley Boys 3Ding Jeff Hardy through the table, and I remember, and I had it in 6 different angles. Boom, 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 boom. Wow. Wrestling games did not care. Real quick, King, do you remember when we struggled against Titan? Or was it Titan?
Titantron?
No.
Titan, whatever their name was. Every time we saw that music, we were like, get them the fuck out of here. Like, we had to beat them up so many times.
But we never did beat them. We never did. And we couldn't even figure out for the life of us. Like, we had a table match.
We beat them up a few times after.
Well, the next day, bro.
Yes. And
they had anime plot armor before anime was a thing.
They were able to solve Goku's heart problem.
Put them in the Cell games. See what happens.
Nah.
No, that's enough of you. That's enough of you.
King talking about mofos coming out the limo reminds me of that episode January 4th, 2010 of TNA where they were just showing people. And I do remember Ric Flair coming out the limo, but what blows my mind and what messes me up and what traumatizes particularly Jean-Baptiste is the Nasty Boys coming out of nowhere.
Why were the Nasty Boys there? Why? Why were the Nasty Boys there?
So when when King was like, it's just basically mofos coming out the limo and
walking
just,
to nowhere.
being there to be there. That is about it. That's why I didn't care because it's just like this is what we're doing today.
With that being said, gentlemen, why don't we talk about this one Elimination Chamber match, which features one Drew McIntyre LA Knight, which opens. You have Kevin Owens, Bobby Lashley, Randy Orton, and Logan Paul. I'm sorry because I always mix up the name because they're 2 first names, so I'm easily confused.
Logan is fine.
Yeah, Paulo. I feel like that's like the brother of Wolverine. It's like the evil brother. And not Sabretooth. It's like another brother who's like, I don't like either. We have the Elimination Chamber. Like I said, Drew McIntyre, LA Knight opens. Next into the match was I didn't write the ratings. I know right now they're putting out the ratings for 2K24. That's going to come out on this gentleman's birthday. One Mark wins. It will be out on his birthday, but I am going to still celebrate this guy's birthday. But I will be playing 2K24 over the weekend. I might even call out of work just to play because you got to take your time when you make your character. You can't rush it. You know what I mean? Like you can't do that.
No.
Oh no,
Absolutely not.
I like this right here because I don't know what we're going to be called, but I feel like we're going to be the version of the Bloodline. We're going to figure out your role. One Mark wins, but this solo Sequoia to my end, and we have King being the Paul Heyman to me. I guess you could be. I would say Sami Zayn, but he's not part of the Bloodline anymore. I'm trying to think of the Bloodline. It would be between him and Jey Uso. We'll figure this out.
Uso actually.
Jey Uso is killing it. Let me ask you one real quick. I mean, this is still. I'll ask you here. Because I talked to Jean-Baptiste. We talk a lot. Shout out to one Jean-Baptiste. How did you feel about Jey Uso? And I said Jey Uso was not being Gunther, but how do you feel about him losing to Gunther?
I mean, listen. I think that it was a good match with like an ending. Like it was like it was whatever. Like his brother interferes, but I think he had like a good showing, honestly. And I think
absolutely.
Now lately,
but did you expect him? I mean, interrupt you, but did you expect Jey to beat Gunther?
Expectations, no. So
okay.
So I think that's where the element of surprise were to come in. Like if he were to actually win, and now they have Jay versus Jimmy for the Intercontinental Championship, something like that, it would have meant a little bit something else for WrestleMania. But like at the end of the day, I do think that he's doing his things as a singles competitor. So it almost goes back to that point I was saying in the beginning. Jimmy's at risk of being a Matt Hardy here, like a joke. Like
No. I won't even say Matt Hardy. I say Marty Jannetty.
No. Wait. That's extreme right there. No, I wouldn't. I see Jimmy actually beating Jay at WrestleMania. Honestly,
they won't do that.
I think they're gonna do that kind of.
I think so.
I don't think they should do that, but I think the writer, the predictability of the writing skills at WWE. So I see Jimmy Uso winning, but he should not win.
What about you, Gene Betsy? Because you're a big Jay Uso fan. I mean, you and we chat a lot about this, and we'll get into this Elimination Chamber. But I just want to hear your thoughts about this. How do you feel about your guy not going over against Gunther? And if you have thoughts, I'm sorry, just real quick. If you have thoughts, please add in Mark Wins. But the floor is yours, Gene Betsy.
That match was incredible. I think Jay has been elevated to a point where he's actually earned, and is rightfully so, should be called Main Event Jay. He's definitely a main event competitor. I believe he should have beaten Gunther. He could have been the one to beat Gunther, and I wouldn't have been mad about it. But over the last couple of days, when you really think about it, and this is one thing where I was just looking, I'm just like, Jay's not at the level of Roman or Brock. So I feel like a couple of more movesets added to your repertoire would probably be a little bit better. Gunther is just amazing, first and foremost. The ring general.
Real quick, what is Drew McIntyre's repertoire?
He has moves, but you trying to act like he don't have moves?
It's belly to belly. He has belly to belly.
Hold on, wait. What's his moves? What's the question?
She did pull a new move today. Listen, it's generic repertoire, but I think most of the people over here have generic repertoires. So it's not like these people are doing anything extra. We've seen the DDT before. We've seen the suplex, and that's what they're doing. So I don't think that
right. So hold on. So it's literally super kick, Samoan drop, spear into Uso splash finisher. Literally, but not even gonna front.
And listen, everybody knows I'm a big Rock fan. But what did the Rock do? When he added the sharps to the ring, like, oh my God.
I you know what? I appreciate that, sir, because me and King, we talk, and I've sat here and said, and listen, I do want to say this real quick. Rock, he's heel, right? And there was a segment that he had with a kid, and he did like this, and he laughed, and I couldn't help but be like, how can you not like The Rock? But The Rock was never known for his in-ring work. And that's not a knock on Rock. I mean, Rock got over because of his mic work. Shout out to one Mark Winslow. I was talking to him, and I'll ask you, gents, who do you think is the better mic worker, John Cena or The Rock?
Cena.
Why were you even thinking about this?
Cena. I would have to go with Cena. And the only reason why I would go with Cena is because Cena's been doing it, 20 years? Rock's been doing it probably way longer. But Cena never really lost the skills. I think when Cena exposed Rock for writing, I guess, promo stuff on his wrist, it kind of just showed that Rock kind of lost it. Whereas John Cena never did. He could still just go off the top of his head. Just like that.
Time out.
All right. Wait. May I? Okay, you know what? No, my bad. King, go, King.
Did you actually watch some wrestling last year? I'm just curious to know. I'm just curious to know. When did you see evidence of John Cena having it last year?
And his promo work?
You're pausing to think of something. That's what you're doing.
In his promo? No, I'm not pausing. Yes, you're saying? Yes. Are you saying in his promo work?
Promo work.
Did he not mop the floor with Solo Sikoa? As a matter of fact, when he first came back to take on Roman, he was still dominating Roman. Roman tried to hit him with the missionary position sex jokes. Meanwhile, here's Cena obliterating him on the mic. Are you freaking kidding me?
I don't think he obliterated him at all.
Yeah, I was gonna say I wouldn't even say he obliterated him, because like if you talk about what was that 2017, I got you. I'm with you on that. This one not as much, but I still will give that to one John Cena. I think John Cena is a better mic work than The Rock. I do. I personally think that.
I don't think so.
But I do.
So here's
He
what
made
I
a great point. He made a great point, though. I'm on it.
So here's what I think. I think that when it comes to that one-off, that one-off promo, that improv promo, I think Cena wins on that. But Rock has timeless catchphrases that are over to this day. Literally every time I go millions and millions. I gotta do that. You know what I'm saying? You can, to this day, you can go and talk to your friend and ask them, "Hey, how you feeling?" It doesn't matter how you feel, right? Like, so it's
First, and everybody knows it could be coming, and they're just anticipating it. They love to get rocked. The fans love to get owned by the Rock, so they're like, "Yeah, so Rock, they love it." The Toronto promo, this recent promo, the recent promo wasn't all that, but it was good to see that he had something in him, right? But when you think about it too, like, I'm not trying to make excuses, but we all know that we write stuff down and stuff like that. And John Cena, I don't think John Cena was freestyling ever when he was out there either. So let's not be funny. Let's call it straight.
I do think
I just want to make it clear I'm not writing nothing.
The only reason why, okay, so maybe not freestyling, maybe he was giving bullet points backstage, and then he'd do whatever he want within the confines of WWE. The only reason why I think that is because he's a rapper. He's a rapper and he does freestyle. That's something that he does. And then he's not just a rapper, and it's not that he just freestyles. I personally think he got bars. Like, I don't.
He does.
Like, he's not right. Like, I don't think he's
got sleeper bars.
I'm not going to dispute that he doesn't have bars. I'm saying that I don't think that this stuff comes to his mind immediately in the middle of the ring. I do think there's an element of writing stuff down.
There is an element of writing stuff down, but I do think that he has a flow with it. I do think he has a flow with it. I do think that if, say for example, if a CM Punk says something crazy, John Cena's right back with it. If Triple H says something crazy, John Cena's right back with it. If LA Knight says something crazy, if Solo Sikoa, if Roman Reigns says something crazy, he's right there with it.
He has a comeback waiting.
He doesn't really get outplayed on the mic, and that's something that's a key. Whether he doesn't, so he might not have that one, other than "you can't see me," which turned into a whole meme. Other than that, he doesn't really have, like, you know, those catchphrases that Rock and arguably Austin has. But he doesn't really get outplayed on the mic, and that's why I think The Rock is better on the mic, but I wouldn't argue against Cena. If somebody was like, y'all guys are like, "Oh yeah, Cena's better on the mic," I'm not arguing against that. I wouldn't, because I see it. But me personally, I love catching people with how it doesn't matter what you say. That is a joke.
Rock's catchphrases are timeless. Like that's
right.
So you'll never get catchphrases like that. But like you said, it's Cena's quickness to come back, and his flow never dies down. Like some of these promos, you look at the promos and how they go back and forth, someone dies down always. But when it came to Cena, no matter who he was promo battling against, his flow just stayed consistent.
Got outplayed. Right.
You couldn't outplay him. He always had a comeback no matter what.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And when him and Rock went at it with the promo battle, he caught Rock off guard, and to a point where Rock was really he was really bothered by it. Like, he caught Rock, and he caught the Rock lovely to a point where it shuffled him a little bit. He was a little out of it. Like, yo, wait, what? Where'd that come from? Like, so that's why I will always look and say, you know what? When the two best promo battles go at it, and Cena took him down, and Cena ruffled the Rock's feathers like that, nah, Cena's the better man, hands down.
Yeah, I think Cena. I mean, he rocked him. Go ahead. No, go ahead. I want you to.
No. Listen, I hear what he's saying. I get
it. Listen, you have upset my Paul Heyman. Jean Baptiste, you are out of the Pooba line. Get out. Mark wins. You are now my son.
No.
It's all right. Leaving with a spike.
Come on, hold on, wait. Jean Baptiste doing me. Bum 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 bum. Come on, bum 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 bum. Come on, bum 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 bum.
I'm taking it all.
I do want to make one point though. I want to make one point though.
Yeah, please.
And this is the point that I don't think King remembers him saying it, but because I definitely got it from him. So when Cena was mentioning about how, you know, Rock would write whatever on his wrist, and you know, he was like, "Oh yeah, people write for the Rock." Why these same people don't write for people today? Why these same people don't write for the wrestlers today? Because some of them could use that help.
No, it's true. A lot of people could. But I also think that you can write for people, but I also sit there and say Rock has a certain charisma that he can deliver. You can write for someone, but if you don't have the charisma, what does it matter? And I personally think that. Because you can write for me, but I promise you I might do a better job than, and that's not a guarantee, obviously, because there might be someone who more charisma than me. I'm just using myself as an example. But I say and say I might deliver it this way, and someone might be like, no. You got to have a charisma.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. That makes 100% sense. Fact.
Well, yeah. Well, I'm an intellect, so yes.
You gotta whether it be charisma or at least some type of characteristic to, because
I said level 12 intellect.
15.
Because
this man figured out the anti-life matter equation.
Yeah, there we go. That's why I say.
I figured it out when as soon as I breathed, I figured it out. What are you talking about?
Game over. It was game over.
But go ahead. I'm sorry,
ladies and gentlemen. A deity was born.
I'm sorry, Gene Baptist. Go ahead, take the floor. I'm sorry, sir.
No, I just had to say, like Rock's charisma was always amazing on the mic.
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I want to put right here, Jeffrey. I mean, you're Jeffrey's too. But this guy, Jeffrey right here, Rudy Poo Candy ass, lay the smack down on your candy ass. Who is this Rudy Poo? He's sitting here commenting on the run. Rock has countless catchphrases, and he's absolutely right. No, I totally agree. Thank you, Jeffrey. He joins me for the UPR NXT review show. Shout out to him. He's a super fan. I say super fan, but he's fantastic. He's great. Thank you for being here, Jeffrey. But carry on, sir.
Rock if we was to say Rock, who was more charismatic, Rock hands down. But like I said, when it comes to Mike, I've already seen the two best go at it, and I felt like Cena was just better.
You know, it's crazy. It's crazy because, like, I consider Rock one of the greatest, right? And if you consider him the greatest, there's nothing wrong with that. But I felt like there was something with Cena. You know what's the scariest thing in sports entertainment? I'll tell you. When John Cena says, fine speech, that means you are about to get fucking cooked. It's over. You are. And if you don't believe me, WWE literally have this clip where it's about fine speech. Now, I think someone like CM Punk has stood. I feel like.
Whip it good.
Whip it good. And right, because we can't play it because then this video would be told like, hey,
yeah.
But no, I agree with Jeffrey where Rock has such great speeches, and I admit that I don't think John Cena had like that cool catchphrase, but when he spoke and he would dominate, I told you this one, Mark wins. When he was with AJ Styles. AJ Styles is not known for his mic work, but he will outwork you in the ring. But when he told AJ Styles, and he said, and this is 2016, and he said, "Oh, you struggled against Roman Reigns? Guess what's going to happen when you go against me?" And I was shook for one, Alan Jones. I said, I'm really wanted to go in the ring and be like, Gene Baptiste, I'm sorry, because you're really good at this. What did you say one time when someone did something? You said, "No, I want to hear from you."
No. Gotta make sure you do. You gotta add the shake. No.
And Jeffrey also too in the chat. Thank you for being in the chat, Jeffrey. Said Dr. Dynamic Senior was a different level. No, I agree.
He was. Well, he
was. But you know what's funny? There was growth with his character because I hear what he's saying. But Thuganomics, and even with Cena when he became Super Cena, he was still dope on the mic. Like, I don't think we appreciate. I don't think I don't think, and I'll sit there and say this, and I said this to when Mark wins a lot, where I would go like, I think we were hard on John Cena. And maybe that's not fair and speak for everybody, but I'll say for myself, I think we were hard on John Cena. Because on the mic, when you listen to him on the mic, was he awful? I don't think anyone ever thought he was awful. But I sit here and go to this, and I'll say this to you, and I would ask you guys, who's your top 5 on the mic? And I think John Cena's on that top 5. And he's not
Cena,
5. He's not 5.
Mm-hmm. Chris Jericho, CM Punk, and for whatever reason, The Miz. Not even for whatever reason, because Miz has this way.
No, Miz is good. Miz is good. Miz is good.
He blurs the lines of if it's actually if you're going into business for yourself, or is this a work?
What?
Nah. Austin probably right after Miz.
Nah.
I wouldn't put. I wouldn't put Austin on there. I think Austin was good on the mic, but I wouldn't put him. Matter of fact, there was this video, and I remember telling someone there was like hold on, I just want to get this. I just want to get this out. Hold on, I want to get this out. I want to get this out. I want to get this out, and then you can take the floor. Austin, and there was a video, and I remember it was on WWE, and they had like top 10 mic workers. Austin was number 1, and I thought that was wild, personally.
That was bullshit.
It's not wild because Austin was
wild.
Jokes on the mic. Miz bores me. I don't know what the fuck it is about the Miz, but Miz bores me. I don't think there's people that I was bored when Austin was on the mic. No, you were tuned in, you was listening, you want to know who he was calling the son of a bitch, you want to know who he was saying what to.
Austin was more of a one-trick pony with the mic, in all honesty. Because
I wouldn't even say one trick.
And,
I think
and what was
Miz?
Miz?
I think no. Here's the thing.
Here's the difference between Miz and Austin. With Austin, it's like all right. Even in the later in his careers, when the what thing started becoming the thing, is he would ask a stupid question, or he would just say one line, wait for the crowd to say what, and keep it going. With Miz, I was more interested with his promos because he kept blurring the lines of reality and wrestling.
And even with that, hold on, wait.
So you think Miz could run the anti-establishment thing that Austin was doing in the 90s with Vince? You think that? I don't believe that. I genuinely don't believe that. I genuinely believe Miz could run that.
Different era. First off, I'm gonna call it a different era. I can't compare the eras because we don't know how things would have been if this era was back then. How people would have reacted to it back then.
I'm saying about this era. I'm talking about you take Miz and his so-called top 5 mic work over Austin. You replace Miz with Austin, and you tell me that the Miz can do what Austin did, particularly because so here's the thing. If you want to sit there, here's my thing. If you want to sit there and say, oh, Austin was made with the Vince versus Austin angle, I will give you that. But here's my thing. If you replace Austin with Miz, does Miz do what Austin did? I don't believe he does.
I think he does it better. I would think he'd do it better. Because again, what the difference between Miz and Austin is, with Miz, you blur the line so much that for a second you forget if it's real or if it's fake and scripted.
No, because I didn't care. I literally.
So now here's the thing.
Care.
This is your bias. This is you being biased because you feel like the Miz is boring. But if you actually watch,
and that's fair. But CM Punk, I believed that CM Punk could do what Austin did. I believe that John Cena could do what Austin did.
And you know what we call that? A biased opinion because you find Miz as
that Randy Orton, who is not. I believe that Randy Orton, who we don't even sit there and say has that great mic work, would do better than the Miz in that environment.
This is a biased opinion.
I really think Miz is overrated, and I feel like the only reason why Miz gets what he gets is because he's a reality TV star. If Miz wasn't a reality TV star, would you even care who the fuck the Miz was? Like, I really I could do this all day. Miz, I really don't think Miz is all that.
Let me get you in something. You remember how earlier you were saying calling wrestling fake is like very disrespectful? The thing with the Miz and his mic work is you will forget for that instant while he's talking that the whole thing is fake because he blurs the line. But this, all right.
My bad. Let me do something here. Let me do something very genuine.
Sure.
And it's not even going to be something that can be resolved right now.
Mm-hmm.
Point me to one, maybe two promos where Miz allegedly blurs the lines, and
Miz and Daniel Bryant, Miz and Enzo Amore. Right off rip. I can name those two off rip.
Yeah, give me a second. I will put that in a
notepad. Miz and Daniel Bryant on an episode of Talking Smack.
Mm-hmm.
And then
and Daniel Bryan, because I want to see this, because like
I feel like I just want to say Jean Baptiste, and I understand that he used the second one. I disagree a little bit more. The first one I was like, that's a good one. Second one, I would go with this. Hold up. I would go with the one where it was Miz and John Cena, because
that was another one. He definitely.
I honestly think that's a better one than
I want them all because I will admit I am biased against Miz. I will admit that.
See, and my guy right here, Jeffrey, is saying that Talking Smack was
the Talking Smack one was probably one of the best ones because if you watch that, you will literally you'll ask yourself, "Yo, was this real for like it?" Because he literally blurred those lines. Like, if you if you go into it with an unbiased opinion and actually watch Miz,
which I'm going to. Like I said,
unbiased. If you say boys. If you say his in-ring work is boring, yes.
Okay, there we go. Jeff. Oh, okay. So Jeffrey's going with this too. So I guess go with this one too, because he did say, and he did cook Enzo.
Right. That's the other one I didn't know.
I felt like the one with him and Cena was a little bit. I think that's a better, more of example. But please put that one in. So thank you. Both Jeff. But believe it or not, Jeffrey, this is your doppelganger right here, Jeffrey Reimer, who is very talented because he plays drums, unlike you, because you don't play drums. You suck.
No, I just do this.
Right, so hold on. So I want to be sure I got.
I hate that I laughed at that. I hate you.
I want to be sure I got this right.
No, you gotta do this. Bum 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 bum. Sing it. What was that?
We're taking it all.
Bum 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 bum. Taking it all. What are you exactly taking?
I haven't quite figured that out yet.
All of
just
it.
All of it.
Doesn't matter what it is. All of it.
Well, I'm sitting firmly in the seat.
So we said Miz and Daniel Bryan, and what year was that? What promo was that?
That
was Talking Smack.
2016 or 2017. 2016, 2017 is between those years. I don't know exactly.
No.
It was.
When did Daniel Bryan return?
Not return. He retired in 2016.
No. When did he return from retirement?
2018, I want to say.
So I would say maybe a few months before that, a few months prior to.
No, that was before, bro. That was totally before because he was retired. He was retired. He couldn't do anything.
Check it out. I'll check out the whole range. Don't worry.
It's 20. I promise you, it's 20.
Because I'm
Jeffrey. Hold on. I'm sorry. Better yet, Jeffrey Reimer in the chat, please, because I know you're Jeffrey too, sir. But Jeffrey, can you tell us the year? Because I believe it was 2016. Because he was retired. He was retired at that point.
I'm very curious. What year? Because I'm pretty sure Enzo was only hot for like 1 year. So what year was Miz and Enzo? When was that? When did that happen? Because I know he was only hot for like a year, and then he did whatever, and then
maybe 2014.
No. Hold on. Stop breathing.
No, I need to live.
No, it had to have been. Hold on. I'm sorry. Seriously, let me think. I think 2018.
2018.
I think it's 2018.
So then, if that was 2018, then the Miz and Daniel Bryan talking smack was definitely way after.
No, that was
way
before.
after.
No, that was way before, bro. That was way before. Jeffrey's right here. Thank you, Jeffrey. Thank you. 2016. Right. Thank you. Because I can't sit there and say I don't know all 58 presidents, but when it comes to wrestling, and I know there wasn't 58 presidents. I don't need someone sitting there telling me I'm dumb. I do that on the daily.
That's how many presidents there were. 46. But,
yeah, I know that. I'm an intellect.
Level 18, right?
22.
We're
just raising the numbers at this point.
Every time
the number's brought up, it increases. It's an exponential function.
This is why
grandson at this point.
This is why Mark wins is my Paul Heyman's. Get better. Matter of fact, Jeffrey Reimer with the date. Yo, my guy right here. He said August 23rd. You know what August 23rd? Why is August 23rd so important to me, guys?
Because that's your birthday.
Hey, happy birthday!
So that's the Miz and Daniel Bryan thing that he's talking about.
Is that Miz
and
Daniel
Bryan? All right, cool. So Miz and Enzo 2018, and then what about Miz and Cena?
If you have the date for that, Jeffrey, and I'm sorry, we're giving you homework, sir, but if you have it, because I don't have an exact date. But he said which one, Miz and John Cena? I think that's 2017. No, I think it's no. Because this is year prior, bro. It's not 2015. It's 2017. I think it's 2017 because that was the year where they had that WrestleMania match. It was John and Nikki against Miz and I'm sorry, wasn't Maurice. So I think it's 2017.
No, those were his best years of promo work too.
More would you? I do want to say, and then we're gonna move on a little bit on this Elimination Chamber thing. Because we were really sitting here talking about Elimination Chamber. Now, I do want to mention the attendance there was 52,590. And then we'll just talk about the women's match real quick. But Miz really grew a lot as a promo guy. So when you was talking about, hiccups, when you're talking about the Miz, I just wanted to sit here and say, I'm not even like a big Miz fan, but I do acknowledge his growth. I do acknowledge where he is now as a wrestler. And once again, this comes from not like a big diehard fan. I'm not a big diehard fan, but I can respect his work, his growth. And I would sit here and say, listen to some of these promos, because there's a lot of promos where he sat here and gave passion. And I'm pretty sure as time goes on, when it comes to the Miz, when we look back at some of the promos, like, oh, this was actually pretty good. And I sit here and go, look at someone like John Cena, look at someone like Rock. I think years later, when you look back at some of these promos, you're like, oh snap, these guys were really cooking, and you just didn't know it. And for myself, I'm one of those people who felt that way. Let's finish this Elimination Chamber match. We had Rhea Ripley defending her Women's World Championship, but let's talk about the Elimination Chamber. We had Drew McIntyre winning the Elimination Chamber. Was anyone surprised about Drew winning this Chamber match?
No, Drew has been on fire this year, but I will say this: shout out to Randy Orton because him like I guess making himself seem like he was too hurt to continue and then hitting that RKO in the end was great, and it was a really good setup for Miz versus 2017 was Enzo and
see, I said that. I said 2017. Listen to
2018.
I said 2017. What are you talking about?
You said 18.
Let me double check because I wrote it down. I'll double check. Give me a second.
Hold on, wait a minute.
You said 2017. Ron said 2017. No, wait. No, wait. He said Enzo, right? My bad. Enzo, he did. Ron did say 2018. That's my fault.
All right. Fair enough. I wish you. Oh, was I more right than Jeffrey though? Jean Baptiste. Who said 2015? He said 2015. I just want to make sure.
I did say 2015.
Right. So yeah, technically that was the closer bid on The Price is Right.
Now, good job, Gene Betsy. This is why you're the Soul Sequoia. Just spike people, which sounds very uncomfortable. Hold on, let's do it one more. Let's do it one more time. Bum, 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 bum,
Boom, 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 boom.
bum,
We're taking it all. I still don't know what he's taking though.
Now let's finish this show because I want to get Mama Bad Guy a sandwich. So let's finish it. Drew McIntyre wins this. I'm not surprised about this. I do like that AJ did get his revenge on LA Knight because LA Knight did screw one AJ Styles. So I was happy that AJ got his revenge. Look, LA Knight, I honestly wish that AJ Styles was more, and I wish AJ was in the Elimination Chamber, and that didn't happen. So it is what it is. It looked like that's going to be the WrestleMania match because to me, I thought LA Knight was going to go. So the cool thing about Elimination Chambers, and I was talking to this with Mark Wins. I said, I felt like I was talking to you. I might have been talking to myself. I don't know anymore in life. And the Royal Rumble 2005, you had Shawn Michaels eliminate Kurt Angle, and that's what set up the match for WrestleMania. So I thought LA Knight might have some kind of interaction with Logan Paul, and maybe he'll be facing them at WrestleMania for the United States Championship. But it looked like that's not going to be a thing. It looked like AJ Styles and LA Knight. And I think AJ Styles should get the win. LA Knight is hot, but I'm just big on AJ Styles. AJ Styles, since he's been back, he hasn't been winning anything. And AJ Styles, I mean, at this point in his career, are we lying when we say he's not a first ballot Hall of Famer? Are we lying? Because I feel like we're lying.
We're definitely lying. He's AJ Styles Hall of Fame first ballot. Yeah.
So hi. I love AJ Styles, but I don't know the criteria, right? Because like he just got here like a couple years ago.
He just got here a couple years ago, and he's already a Grand Slam.
Really?
Yeah, he is. He's Intercontinental.
He
won the United States, right?
He won the United States. He won Intercontinental. He won the tag team, and then he held the WWE title for a while. Yeah, he's already.
Wait. So now I have another question. Does that make Does that make AJ Styles the first person to Grand Slam in two different promotions?
I don't know if it makes him the first. I don't know. I can't confirm that. I can't confirm that. I can't confirm it.
Let me think about that real quick.
Because so here's the thing: you'd have to consider WCW, and I know you have to consider WCW, and I don't know if there were even I don't even know if WCW even considered Grand Slams, but
no, they did because you had World Heavyweight. I don't know if because WWE how they run right. I can't confirm it. I would have to look it up.
Did Christian win the X Division title in TNA?
No.
Oh, then yeah, I think AJ Styles would be the first out of two different promotions.
Yeah, because Samoa Joe did it in TNA, but he didn't do it in WWE.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, no, he didn't do it in WWE. So AJ Styles would be the first.
So he is for okay, bet. I just wanted to because I'm like he got here yesterday. I remember when what was that? 2016? Right.
Yep.
2016.
Yep.
It was Roman Reigns and somebody else in the ring, and AJ was 3. Right, and then AJ was 3, and we heard the music. I was like, "Yo, whose music is that?" And then we heard AJ's theme, and we was like, "No, we heard AJ's theme. We didn't know it was AJ until he pulled up, and it was like, ah."
Yeah, I think from then, I think it took him 3 years before he made Grand Slam.
He won the tag team. He won the tag team titles. What year was it? Yeah. No. But I'm trying to think of it had to have been 2022. No, 2021. 2021.
And by then he. Oh yeah, then it would have taken. Yeah, it took 5 years. 2021. Yeah, 5 years. In 5 years he became Grand Slam.
And that's fine. You said that's fine. You said 5 years. You said 5 years. There's people who it took them 20 years to reach a certain level, or maybe there's people who they've been doing it for a long time and they have never got it. So AJ is the first ballot Hall of Fame.
Mark's arch nemesis, The Miz, is a 2-time Grand Slam champion.
He is.
Listen. Absolutely my arch nemesis. I can't stand the guy, right? But I do respect what he has done in the business for the business. He reminds me and I know this might be sacrilege and it might be blasphemy. He reminds me of Kane, that workhorse for the company.
Okay.
No, that's not sacrilege. I can agree with that completely.
Okay. I agree with that. I just personally can't stand the motherfucker. That's me personally. I can't stand him. So when y'all
Kane is another Grand Slam, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, he is.
Boom. So so when y'all was
and
like,
and he's slower and lower. He is.
Who?
King.
I forgot King was even here. Like, all I heard was noise in the background. And like, yeah, that's right.
No, as a matter of fact, ain't King considered a 2-time Grand Slam because he won the World Heavyweight and WWE title?
I can't confirm it because I don't know, but I got Jeffrey in the chat. He said, "Yeah, it was 2021 almost." Damn, I forgot about that. Thank you, Jeffrey, for confirming.
Kane is definitely 2-time because he won the WWE champion back in the 90s. He only had it for a day or so, but he won it.
No, he had it for a day, but I don't know if he's a. You know what it is? I'll Google it as we run our mouths here. But real quick, why don't we give thoughts about this Elimination Chamber? Let's talk about Rhea versus Nia Jax. Matter of fact, let's just talk about Rhea versus Nia Jax because I do want to end this. Because I want to get feed Mama bad guy. But go ahead.
Fun fact, I just learned this that Nia Jax is also an Australian native.
Is she?
Yes, she was actually born in Australia.
Huh.
I didn't know.
Fun fact, I didn't know that either. Like recently, it was mentioned. I looked. I said, "Oh wow, she was actually born in Australia." Go figure. But
an Australian American professional wrestler. Yep.
Yeah.
Word. Oh, dope.
Yeah. Those two definitely put on a great match.
But nobody cared. It was all Rhea Ripley.
It was all Rhea. It was
all about. It was all about mommy. It was all about mommy. But nah, they put on a damn good match. I'm how much growth Nia Jax has done because she's not killing people in the ring no more. Thank God. If I was to rate that bout, 7 out of 10. Definitely a 7 out of 10. Solid 7.
King, we haven't heard from you in a while. What did you think about this match? Rhea Ripley against Nia Jax.
Listen, it was a really, really good match. I think they both put on a nice little showing. Nia Jax opened it up dominant, as she should be. I think that, I think my opinion that I wanted Nia Jax to actually win to bring an element of surprise somewhere. But honestly, it all was a good match. I felt like they both did a good showing, and Nia Jax laid out like, there wasn't no BS controversy. Like, hey, I got the finisher, let me lay here, and it's over. So it was good.
Thank you for that, King. He's hanging out with the cool people. Thank you, King, for being here, sir.
You should put the camera on and show us him walking to nowhere so we can all get hyped for no reason.
He just stepped out of it. Are you at the WrestleMania entrance? Is that the WrestleMania entrance from last year?
Look, he's walking to nowhere and we're getting hyped.
Whoop, whoop. Hold on, wait. Let's do it. Team Baptiste.
We taking it all.
Yo,
I did some pyro and put my hands up in the air. That's all I did.
Hold on, we gotta get that. Hold on, we gotta get that one picture. Everyone put the one up because I want to make sure we get that as a picture. There we go. Put the one up, Justin. There we go. There we go. All right, there we go. Was it the 158 second? Okay, there we go. That's what I'm gonna make sure. That's it. I want to make sure. Now everyone can put their hands down. What the hell is wrong with you guys? This match. I'm sorry. Did you want to add some thoughts here, Mark Wentz?
What match are we talking about? We talking about the main
event?
The
main event. Yes.
It was a decent match. They hyped it up properly. They. So here's something that they did really well, and it's one of those things that go underrated, right? Because to my knowledge, correct me if I'm wrong.
I can't hear him.
Can't hear who? Me?
I can hear him. Can you hear him, Gene?
Perfectly fine.
Yeah, I can hear you totally, sir.
All right. So to my knowledge, Rhea Ripley's the heel, right? She was supposed.
She's supposed to be a heel, but if you're talking about
right.
between the both, if you're talking about between the both of them, Nia's the bigger heel.
Oh, okay. So Nia's the bigger heel, but then they're in Australia. All right, never mind. But even still, the commentators, you know what I mean? They did a real good job, helping boost up Rhea Ripley as the face in her hometown. Now, granted, like we just learned that, Nia Jax is an Australian native, but the crowd didn't seem to care. They were really on Rhea Ripley's side, even though she was supposed to be the heel or whatever. But Nia's the bigger heel. But Ripley, is the leader of Judgment Day that they currently booed. Did they not? All right, hold on. Now I'm curious because I don't remember all the way. They booed Judgment Day, correct?
Yes.
Except Rhea Ripley, for whatever reason.
Except Rhea Ripley.
Well, this is the hometown. This is the hometown.
Yeah.
Well, no. For the most part, when Rhea Ripley shows up Raw anywhere, everybody cheers for her. She's like the RVD of Judgment Day. Like she's just loved. Period. Like even if you want to make her heel, they won't boo her.
That's fair. So since you said that, for whatever reason, I'm gonna tell you what the reason is. TNA. That's why.
So it's funny when he said it, I knew he wasn't talking about the wrestling brand. I
was making sure that was the case because I'm like,
I knew exactly what he meant. As soon as I heard that, I was like,
that's why I gave that look.
So Jeffrey Reimer, shout out to you, the drumtastic Jeffrey Reimer. He said they cheered her on Raw one time and it was loud when she started talking. LOL. So Rhea, and also too, what you acknowledge. If you watch,
over. That's what it sounds like. Rhea's
she's very over to the point where
she's transcending her own stable that she leads.
Right, because she doesn't want to get dominated. But I know that he would chuckle with that. Thank you. But also too, she was at her hometown, but she's also just something that I've realized the last few weeks is that she's a part of the Judgment Day, but she's also kind of not, because if you look at the last, I'm pretty sure it's a big number. I just can't think of it, but I feel like the last 3 weeks, she hasn't been rolling with Judgment Day. She's been doing her own thing. But they will let you and remind you, like she'll still put. Now, I didn't see this on her face, but she usually have, Dominic. It'll be like RD. It'll be like R plus D. I didn't see that on her face tonight.
I think it was more about her title defense and she's in her hometown, and not that she's trying to shy away from Judgment Day, but it's about her, not Judgment Day. So much respect to that. Like I love how they've been working her to be more of the face of the women's division. Like, she leads the Judgment Day, but she's become the face of the women's division.
And what you're saying there, I think you're saying some really good stuff there, because the face of the baby, because even when she beats Nia, that was a clean win. It wasn't no cheap nonsense kind of thing. She beat her clean, suplex, hit her, and I thought this was a better riptide than what it was last year. And I get it. It's hard to hit the riptide on Nia. Nia's a big girl. So when she tried to do it last year, it didn't look as effective, but this one looked really effective. Matter of fact, I thought that she should beat her with 2 riptides, but that wasn't the way. That wasn't just how it was supposed to. I was supposed to say, wait, what? But I thought that she should have beat her with 2 riptides. I think that would have made Nia look even extra strong. But I'm not mad at this finish. Is my point.
No, because it literally solidified Rhea Ripley as being.
Hold on. Jeffrey, and shout out to you, Gene. You got, when you put dominating, you got to put that in all caps, my friend. But yeah, absolutely, Nia was dominating her from the jump, and you got to make sure you get the head motion in there. But I get it. You were typecast.
They told a hell of a story. Because,
oh my God, are you coughing? Yeah.
Sorry, but they told a hell of a story because this story kind of began when Nia Jax returned, and it was just like a big battle for who's the baddest woman on Raw, and this story was told beautifully. Because when Nia came back, she was literally dominating everybody on the roster, even Rhea. So,
and Becky, you got to include Becky. I'm sorry, I just wanted to include that. Becky,
that's right. She did get a clean win on Becky too. So You
Yes,
look at
sir.
that, and it's like, who's the baddest woman on this roster? Rhea Ripley kind of finally solidified that with this match. This was something that probably needed to be told, a story that needed to come to a finish and come to a close, and they chose a great place and a great match to do so. Now, could it have been done at WrestleMania? Yeah, but it seems like they really want Becky and Rhea, so
Yeah.
I
Well, let
prefer
me.
I prefer Rhea and Bianca Belair, but you know what? I'll take the Becky and Rhea Ripley match.
You know what I feel? I feel like we get that next year, and I can't guarantee that for sure. Obviously, nothing's for sure, but I think we get that next year. I think this year they wanted to really get Becky and Rhea, but I do want to get King's reaction because me and King we chatted a little bit about this the night before. But King, what do you think about this? And I'm going to give you the floor. Mark wins. Oh,
Wait, who we going? Me or King?
King, can you hear?
King.
King.
Speak.
King.
Speak.
Ziggy had the right idea. Lights on, Ziggy.
Ziggy ain't
What do you mean you don't know that? Ziggy.
He just
Lights
Ziggy
on.
just
Don't be a dick.
disrespecting you. I don't know what that got to do with anything. Well, since
tell you-
King, I don't think King
Go
is us at the moment. So
Go ahead, take it.
another solid match, good match to end the pay-per-view with. And to finally booking, and they finally booking Nia Jax perfectly since returning.
I agree
I
to
agree.
that. Honestly,
Okay,
I agree to that.
I'm about to say I have to take y'all words for it because
No, I agree. No, I totally 100%. I was saying even before, I really like. I've never been a big Nia Jax fan, but I do sit here and say since she's been back, the way she's been booked, fantastic. I think it was a great. They made her look like a threat. There's a lot of people who thought that Nia Jax would beat one Rhea Ripley. I don't mean to take the floor from you, but that's the credit of the company on how they have booked her. They booked her as a monster, and they have done a fantastic job on that. So credit to them. This doesn't make, and then someone online, someone on Twitter is going to be like, "Oh my God, they really messed up with Nia." No, I expected Rhea to go over, but Nia Jax did her due diligence. Shout out to Nia Jax because it takes two to tango in this. So I just wanted to say all that.
Nia
Please.
Jax has been one of the only opponents Rhea's had within the last year that's been a credible enough opponent to make you believe, like, yeah, she might be able to take down Ripley.
So my question. So here's my thing though. If she is the one credible opponent, why did they have this match in Australia where Ripley was going to be over the way she was? Like, why did they do that? Because my thing is, it was a good match. Both Rhea Ripley and Nia Jax did their thing. I did enjoy their match. I enjoyed the flow of the match. But when Rhea Ripley pulled up and they were like, "Oh yeah, Rhea Ripley's in her hometown," the shocking thing to do, in my opinion, would have been to let Nia Jax win. That's what. That's
I
what
think. I hear that. I hear
hear
that, and I'm just going to cut it off right here. They already had where it was going to be Rhea against Becky. Watching it weekly, they were already teasing it, and they were going to go with Rhea against Becky. And I hear where people might go like, "Well, why don't you do something unpredictable? Why don't you do this and this and this and this?"
Here's my thing. It's not even about being unpredictable. It's like everybody. Gene said it. They even said it in the commentary. They were like, "Oh yeah, this is the one of the few matches where Rhea is not the powerhouse," and it's
Right.
like, cool. Rhea's not the powerhouse in this particular match.
You know what?
Why?
I can actually end this whole conversation. Rhea, they knew Nia Jax was going to have heat in this match. Nia Jax had such heat for this segment because anybody else. No, I can't sit here and say Rhea would have been over anyway because they're in Australia, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But Nia, hold on, whoa, hold on, wait. Class is in session. Teacher is teaching.
Go ahead.
So I sit there and go, I don't feel like doing it. Not with that attitude.
All right. So now I get to so now I'm going to ask this question again. If Nia Jax is the one opponent where Rhea Ripley is not the powerhouse. How long has Rhea Ripley had the title?
Almost for a year.
Almost a year. WrestleMania makes a year.
Almost
a year. So I get the concept where we are, teasing Becky Lynch for the title. I get that. We've been teasing that or whatever, right? Cool. Why do we, if we're booking Nia Jackson, we're trying to give her this resurgence, because that's what it seems like. I don't know. Maybe I'm misinterpreting this, but we're trying to give Nia Jax this resurgence. Why are we booking her as one of the few females, one of the few women that make Rhea Ripley not the powerhouse? Why are we booking her in this match?
Because you gotta have substance for all these other pay-per-views. Because I can hear the conversation about you could do this at Mania, you could do this at Mania, you could do this at Mania, and I hear that, and hold on,
Mania. It doesn't have to be Mania. I'm not.
He's basically asking.
Here's the thing: if we're teasing, if you said that we've been teasing Becky Lynch versus Rhea Ripley for Mania, cool. Sure. So Nia Jax does not have to face her at Mania. That doesn't have to happen.
Sure.
Well, you know what? No.
It was the question because I
get what he's asking. He's basically asking if Nia Jax was booked to be this monster heel, why didn't she win at Chamber? In all honesty,
not at Chamber. No. Why even put her in that position?
So for the most part, again, there was a story to tell. There was definitely a story to tell. And a story that culminated. Now, it seems like WWE still can't get it right. If you're booking a monster, having her lose to Ripley probably wouldn't be the best choice, especially when Nia beat Becky clean. So in my eyes, yeah, Nia should have probably went over Rhea Ripley because Nia's dominated the entire division. Ziggy, lights on. Stop that.
That is fantastic. I do want to wrap this up, and we can.
But
go ahead.
To answer your question, even though Nia Jax is being booked great and as this monster heel, she's still not quite over yet because a lot of fans still haven't forgiven her for all the injuries she's caused in the past. And I think the E is probably trying to build back her reputation and show that she's actually improved a great amount. And it shows. It shows within the last couple of months that she's been back, her matches didn't end somebody going to the hospital and being put on the injury. She improved a great amount. But she still hasn't won over the fans enough to where, like, the fans aren't looking at her like she has heat, but she has more of go away. Like, we don't want to see you hurt anymore.
I also disagree with that. I also disagree with that. I can't sit here and tell you what the fans are feeling and stuff like that. But I totally disagree with that. I think that since she has been back, she has been doing a fantastic job. But I can't speak for the fan base, so I can't tell you that. But all I can sit here and tell you as someone who have been watching the last few months, the same thing with Gene Baptiste, because he's been watching as well. And we have different opinions, and I respect his opinion totally. I've definitely seen a lot more growth from him, growth in her. I've seen that she has gotten a little bit better because I do agree. There was a time where she was definitely hurting a lot of women. I don't know if that's the case now. I can't speak for that, but they have done. I just think that just in booking in general, I think they have done a really, really great job. Was she the biggest threat for Rhea? Yeah. And they said, well, why don't we do some Australia? We know going there, they're going to totally boo Nia Jax over Rhea. And then we're going to have this match. I guess that was the match that they wanted to go for in Mania with Becky and Rhea. That was the big match. And they were teasing that for the longest time. They were actually teasing that if you paid attention to it. I don't know if it was in November or October, but there was a few times where they were having faced off. And then this year, they really was like, this year where Becky was like, I'm going to win the Rumble because I want to face you. I like what Jeffrey, I'm sorry I said George, but Jeffrey, he mentioned in the chat, he said Rhea mentioned after the match that her and Becky was in that match in NXT, and I remember that, but it was cut off because they said Shayna broke it up, I forgot about that part, but they had to tease that. They've been wanting to do this for the longest time. So that's what I think. But I do want to end the stream not real quick, but end the stream because it's 11 and I got to pick something up real quick. But I do want to sit there and say thank you, gentlemen. King stepped away, but I want to shout out to him. I want to shout out to Jean Baptiste and Mark Wins. But real quick, before we end the stream, and I sit here and thank you, gentlemen. Oh, now he pops back up. But as we end the stream, is there anything you guys want to plug before I sit here and run my mouth for the next minute?
I make my return to Twitch. I believe this week when Final Fantasy VII Rebirth drops.
Nice.
Stay tuned; it'll be a great stream. I also will be streaming a week after the Rise of the Ronin. And I think I might revisit an old title. I do this thing where it's like, does it deserve the hate that it gotten? Where I just play bad games that people say were bad, and we replay it and actually look at all the mechanics, story writing, and everything, and see if it really deserved the hate that it got. Shout out to my man Renova because he's always on the stream with me, laughing, chopping it up. But yeah, and you can always catch me on Twitter at Jeffrey Butler, Desert Storm 459, Facebook, Instagram, even TikTok. I need to start posting TikTok vids. Yeah, I think I'm gonna start posting TikTok vids.
No, same here. I gotta try to focus on that for the Big Pop Theory podcast. But Marcus, do you have anything you want to plug, sir?
I have nothing to plug. I'm just out here looking for IT help desk job so I can get my foot in the door. And other than that, as far as like social media and all that, I've got nothing to plug. But if you know, if you are in New York and you know about an IT job that I can get in, holla at me. If you are in other states other than New York and you know about a remote IT job, holla at me. Other than that, I'm chilling. I don't got nothing going on social media. Whatchamacallit.
Only thing he's plugging is that television, baby.
Other than that, if I'm plugging anything, I'm plugging Desert Storm 459 on Twitch, and I'm plugging Bad Guy Jack on Twitch. That's it.
Thank you for that. But this is where this is where the professional kicks in. Okay, bye guys. No, I'm joking. No, you can catch me on Twitter. I tweet old school cartoon. I want to give a shout out to one Jeffrey Reimer. This gentleman right here, he sends me old school cartoons. He shares something with the classic Tom and Jerry, so shout out to him. They were teasing Rhea and Becky, so thank you for mentioning that. And he's absolutely, and he also mentioned
Jeffrey Reimer, you've been wonderful. I appreciate you, particularly with this Miz stuff, because I assure you, within the next couple of days, I'm gonna watch these Miz things and I want to see something because, yeah, Miz garbage.
No, I do want to mention about this one Jeffrey Reimer. He's fantastic. I catch him a lot for the Unpopular Review, the NXT review show, and he does a lot of stuff. He's always in the chat for Unpopular Review, but I do appreciate that he follows the Big Pop Theory podcast. We're trying to get some more YouTube content on here. We have an audio podcast. We might have one this weekend. Not too sure. Because if not, I'll just upload this. You'll just hear this. But we have an audio podcast. We are on Instagram. We are on Twitter. Is the Big Pop. Oh my God, these hiccups are just kicking my ass. Jesus. But we're on social media. Hopefully we get some TikTok going on. You can follow me on. That was hilarious. You saw that.
Real tired of your shit, Ziggy. Lights on.
That is fantastic.
Oh, you just
hope
Ziggy. Lights on.
I hope Ziggy don't listen to you.
He doesn't half the time.
What's that Judgement Day? Boom, 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 boom. If you can see
I don't know. I'm sorry.
I don't know the lyrics. On the other side. On the other side. Okay,
I think Ziggy's more of a member of Judgment Day than I am. He's Dirty Dom in disguise, man.
No, I think Ziggy is just pretty much the guy who turns up the light.
Ripley.
The leader of your house.
Most likely. He does whatever the fuck.
Well, you can follow me, the Big Pop Theory podcast, Bad Guy Jack on Instagram, Bad Guy Jack on Twitter, and you'll know it's me because it says the Great Grand Slam Pool because I'm so arrogant. So we want to thank you guys for watching. I want to thank Jeffrey because he watched us live. If you're watching on the playback, we thank you. Please hit that subscribe button. We hope to get some more YouTube content going on here. I'm talking with one Shay Sawyer to get some more YouTube content. Also, the Pop Boys. That's what I call you guys, the Pop Boys. And Jeffrey says, was going to say Gene has the Judgment Daylight. Yes, he did. Absolutely. So thank you for watching. Thank you, gents, for joining me here. I got to run because Mama Bad Guy want a sandwich, and what Mama wants, Mama gets. So we thank you guys. Everyone says peace. Everyone say bye and stuff like that. We didn't have no outro or nothing like that. Okay, bye, guys.
Later, y'all.